myself, Santiago, SHMM, and the chairperson of the MIC 2025 Organizing Committee, Meira Rahmawati, MM, PhD. Welcome and thank you for joining us this morning. Ladies and gentlemen,
Recording in progress.
to commence this event with due reverence to the host country, Indonesia, we kindly invite everyone to take a proper and respectful position as we listen to the national anthem of the Republic of Indonesia, Indonesia Raya. Next, we will hear a welcoming speech from the chairperson of MIC 2025, Media Rahmawati, MMMH, PhD. Dr. Media has been the driving force behind the preparation of this international conference, and we are truly grateful for her leadership and dedication. Dr. Media, the screen is yours.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Joy. Thank you for this time. Can you hear my voice clearly? Ms. Joy, can you hear my voice clearly?
Yes, we can hear your voice clearly.
Okay. Good morning, our honorable speakers and esteemed participants. Yeah, very nice to meet you here. First, I want to introduce myself. My name is Meira Rahmawati, PhD. I'm head of Meira Visi Persada Foundation, and I'm lecturer at Economic College AMA Central Java in Indonesia. It's just a pleasure to welcome all the participants today for our annual event we call the Fifth Multidisciplinary International Conference, MIC 2025. This conference is organized by Meira Visi Persada Foundation in collaboration with Universitas Borobudur, Jakarta, with the theme Transforming Governance Through Interdisciplinary Synergy for Global Welfare. I would like to offer my gratitude and appreciation to the eminent speakers from the various countries who come different field of study. I welcome our keynote speaker and our speaker from Malaysia, Brazil, Peru, Russia, India, and of course from Indonesia, our host country. Thank you for taking the time to join this virtual meeting and share your knowledge and experience with the participants today. The time highlight the urgent need to fundamentally rethink governance practice by leveraging interdisciplinary collaboration. As we know, today most pressing global challenges such as climate change, digital disruption, public health crisis, political instability, economic inequality, food insecurity can no longer be solved in isolation or within a single discipline. Instead, they require us to cross boundaries, share perspective, and work together in unity. I hope this conference can transform our point of view and give us the deeper insight, deeper understanding, and we can contribute for the future. The committee hopes that this conference and discussion will go well without any obstruction. So I don't take much of your time, so I would like to welcome each of you who have joined and participated in the international conference, and let's make some innovation. Thank you and good morning. Ms. Joy, the time is yours.
Thank you very much, Dr. Media, for your inspiring words and warm welcome. Moving forward, it is our honor to invite Professor Dr. Haji Faisal Santiago, SHMM, the Director of Postgraduate Program of Borobudur University, to deliver his opening speech. Professor Faisal will share his message and officially open today's academic forum. Professor Faisal, you may now take the floor.
Thank you. Good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning. This speaker estimate just participation and honoris great. And I want to thanks to Rector Universitas Borobudur, Profesor Insinyur Bambang Bernantos. And I want to thank to Meira Rahmawati, Chairman conference today. Allah, to begin my introduction myself, my name is Faisal Santiago, Director of Postgraduate Program at Universitas Borobudur, Jakarta. On behalf of the university and the great honor and privilege to welcome you all to the 5 multidiscipline international conference 2025 today. Today we are deep privileged to join by an outstanding group of speakers whose expertise and perspective and available in discussion, and I will like to extend warm welcome to Dr. Nur Erlisa from Kelantan Mara University, Malaysia. I wanted to say thanks to Rizky Aulia Rahman Natakusuma from the Household Affairs Agency DPR RI Indonesia. Dylan Ribeiro from Brazil, thank you. George Isaac Torres Manrique from Peru, thank you. Elena Golyaeva, PhD from Russia. Associate Professor Dr. Kandati Sai Chandu from India. And Dr. KM Herman from Universitas Borobudur, Jakarta. Make 2025 seek to provide a platform for meaningful exchange, interdisciplinary collaboration, and the generation of transformative ideas. Our shared goal is to running governance that adaptive, inclusive, and sustainable, so that I might truly serve human welfare on a global scale. I sincerely hope this conference will not only inspire discussion, but also foster partnership the extent beyond decision, leading to innovative solution for the challenge collective vision. With that, I'm honored of officially open the 5 multidiscipline international conference today. This conference being inspiring in impactful experience for us all. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, Professor Faisal, for your meaningful remarks and encouragement. Next, it is our distinct privilege to welcome the Rector of Borobudur University, Professor Insinyur Haji Bambang Benantos, MSc. Professor Bambang will now deliver his official opening remarks for the 5th Multidisciplinary International Conference, MIC 2025. Professor Bambang, the time is yours.
Thank you, students. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, everybody. First of all, let us send our gratitude to God the Almighty for His blessing so that we are enabled to attend this very important occurrence. Let me introduce myself. My name is Bambang Bernantos. I am a rector Universitas Borobudur, Jakarta, Indonesia. As the rector of Universitas Borobudur, it is great honor and privilege to welcome all of you to the fifth multidisciplinary international conference, or what we call MIC 2025, first in collaboration with Universitas Borobudur Jakarta. Today, we are not only gathered for academic forum, but also united in shared pursuit of knowledge and understanding. You are deeply privileged to welcome extraordinary lineup of speakers whose expertise, perspectives span continent and disciplines represent reflect our collective commitment to advance knowledge and fostering dialogue for the betterment of global society. On behalf of the conference host, we are deeply grateful to our esteemed speaker from Malaysia, Brazil, Peru, Russia, India, and also Indonesia itself. For the enlightening presentation will provide valuable contribution to this discussion and help enrich our understanding of the topic. We are truly honored by their participation. Please allow me to extend my warmest welcome and deepest gratitude to Dr. Nur Elisa Abdulaziz from Malaysia, Rizky Aulia Rahman Natakusuma from Indonesia, Leighton Ribeiro, Brazil, PhD from Brazil, Jorge Isaac Torres Manrique from Peru, Elena E. Goleva, PhD from Russia, and Dr. KMS Herman Esa MH MSc CLA from Indonesia. We are genuinely grateful for your willingness to share your time, insight, and expertise with us today. Your participation reflects the spirit of international collaboration that this conference aims to encourage, and it is through his shared commitment that meaningful academic exchange can take place. The theme of this year's conference, Transforming Governance Through International Interdisciplinary Synergy through Global Welfare, is particularly relevant to this challenge of we face it today. As we know, the government is continuously tested by issues such as economic inequality, technological disruption, public health services crisis, and political instability. This problem exposes the limit of traditional sector approach to policy making. At the same time, rapid advance in digital technology and artificial intelligence bring both new opportunity and ethical complexities that require thoughtful interdisciplinary responses. Through this conference, we hope to create space for critical discussion, the sharing empirical insight, and the exchange of innovative ideas. By bringing together scholars and practitioners from diverse fields and countries, we can develop more adaptive, inclusive, and sustainable framework of governance that respond effectively to global realities. So let us use this opportunity to learn from each other and inspire new ideas that can spark transformation action. I hope that the insight gained this conference will have lasting impact on your respective field and contribute to a more sustainable future. Once again, I would like to extend warm welcome to the fifth Multidisciplinary International Conference 2025. With this international conference, I hope you will have fruitful discussion and truly inspiring experience. Thank you very much. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Miss Joyce.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Professor Bambang, for your insightful, inspiring address. Before we move on to the main session, let us take a moment for a group photo sessions. Kindly activate your camera and ensure your screen name shows your full name and affiliation. Our IT team will now take several screenshots for documentation. Please hold your best smile. We will capture photos slide by slide, starting from slide 1. And then slide 2. Slide 3. Okay, I think it's enough. Thank you everyone for your participation. And now we proceed to the main session, keynote speakers. Our first keynote speaker is Dr. Nur Erlisa Abdul Aziz from University Technology Mara UITM, Kelantan, Malaysia. Dr. Nur Erlisa?
Yeah. Hello. Morning.
Yes, you may do your presentation.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Good morning to all of the distinguished guests, speakers, and participants. Thank you, Ms. Joy. Okay. Thank you. To Madam Meira Rahmawati for giving me this choice, this opportunity to be as one of the keynote speaker for this multidisciplinary international conference 2025. Okay. Before that, I would like to share my slide. Can you see it?
Yes, we can see it now.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so before I proceed, I would like to introduce myself. Okay, my name is Dr. Nur Elisa Abdulaziz. I'm from Malaysia and currently I'm attached with University Technology Mara, UITM, Cawangan, Kelantan in Malaysia. Okay, I'm one of the senior lecturer from Faculty of Information Science. My area of interest and probably my area of research could be in information systems, information science, knowledge management, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, big data. Okay. Previously, my background of study, I did my Bachelor of Information System at the University of Jimara, and I further my master as well at the University of Tajimara in my Master of Information Management. And after that, I further for my PhD at University of Salford, Manchester, UK, for about 4 years. And then I came back and I attached with University of Tajimara currently as one of my university. Okay, for today's topic, I would like to talk about the roles of artificial intelligence in innovation. As we know nowadays, most of us well known, AI is all about AI. Almost all people talk about AI. What is artificial intelligence? What is AI? So like AI is surrounding us. Okay. So what is AI? Okay, before I proceed further to my topic, okay, what is AI? As we know that AI is like a machine. Okay, it's like influence us, or else it's like a machines with to think, learns, and act intelligently. It's like simulates as aspect of a human cognition, but uh AI can't replace humans. Okay, so therefore my topic today, how AI could help us, or how AI could be the rules for the innovation. Okay, so firstly, AI as well could enhance product and service innovation. So how it could enhance the product? Okay, nowadays as we know that it could discover AI. From AI we can come up with a new idea. We could ask AI with the new topic, new help. Instead of you could get some new innovation idea from AI. Some of us are using ChatGPT, or there are lots of AI application, AI software or tools in that what we got it from the browser nowadays. So most of us are using AI. For example, we're using ChatGPT, okay, to get know about the current ideas or the current innovation topic. So in AI, it as well could enhance the product in terms of personalization in product and services. Okay, how is it could help it? It could discover a new ideas through the data and then automate and improve. Okay, for example, it could come up with a new topic. It could come up with a new ideas to enhance the product. Okay, for example, nowadays we have EV car. Okay, from EV car, it could come up with a new prospect and the idea for innovation. Okay, so we have the Tesla car, or as nowadays we have Alexa. Okay, you know the Alexa, like the Google's device. Okay, you just had ask Alexa, can you play me a music? Alexa, can you play me or turn off the radio, turn on the radio? Or Alexa, what's about the today weather forecast? So all about the AI. We don't need to Google it, search it. We just ask it. It will help it. Okay, that's why I said I did come out with some research which is about AI. It's I found it is like AI could enhance product and service innovation. Okay, next, what AI could do. Okay, AI as well could accelerate research developments, for example, research and development. From AI, you could come up with some of automating data analysis. It could analyze most of the previous data and help you to come up with the new data. Sometimes it could help you to come up with a new topic. Okay, for example, if you are using qualitative study, you could come up with the analysis, thematic analysis topic or theme. It from AI. Okay, you use ChatGPT. Okay, ask ChatGPT what the new theme that could come up from this area. ChatGPT could help you, assist you. However, it's not accurate, but it could be similar. Okay, it could help you to get new idea, or else help you to get new knowledge from this. Okay, and then it could predict modeling for discovery. How it help you? Okay, for example, Netflix. Okay, I think all of us know that Netflix. Okay, we could watch movie from Netflix. We could watch any TV series from Netflix. From this, it could recover its algorithm of the algorithm of the process, or algorithm of the what we call it, what you are watching on. Okay, let's say you're, hello, hello.
Go on, ma'am.
Hello.
Okay, we can hear you.
No, I'm
Go
heard
on.
that someone
Yes, leaking. Someone is turning on the
on the mic.
mic. Yes.
Okay. Can I continue?
Please
Yes,
continue.
please.
Okay.
Go on, ma'am.
All right. Sorry. Okay. So
Go ahead, go ahead.
AI could help in our research and development. Okay, for example, nowadays there are Gemini AI, Google AI. Okay, so you just go on that Gemini. Okay, can you help us? What are the new current topic? Or can you help me? What are the latest 5 latest years on the topic? So let's say I'm interested on AI in knowledge management, for example. So I just go to ChatGPT. So, okay, ChatGPT will help me to search the current latest topic within the 5 years back. Okay, because if we want to do a research, definitely we need the latest literature, we need the latest info on that. So the 5 years is the latest one. So you just only use the ChatGPT instead of uh go to Google. Google Scholar as well could help you. However, other database as well. However, nowadays we are use AI to help us. But some of AI uh could give us the accurate info, and some of that's like you just give a point, because AI is like database. It's whatever is in the system, it will represent it to us. Okay, and as well, you can predict the modeling for discovery. Okay, let's say you are doing some research on, example, I'm doing an AI. So AI could help me to find out what a theory, what a model that suit for my research. It could be predict it, and you can use it. Okay, nowadays you can use like this is example, IBM RX and AlphaBots. Okay, so next, in AI as well, you could driving business process innovation. Okay, nowadays, as we know, a current automation or any factory are using most of AI. They are using robotic. Okay, that's why nowadays I think we are lack of work or opportunity, job opportunity because of this AI. Because AI nowadays they are using robots. Okay, like manufacturing, they are assembling a car. They are using robotic now. So that less of the manpower. So that as well affect to the job what we call it job hire for the job of prospect. Okay. However, when you have this AI, it could speed the job. It could improve the manufacturing and could give more your services. It could improve it. Okay. So how it could help you it in driving business? It's like improve operational efficiency, and it can as well make your decision accuracy. Before this, if you are using like human thinking, human decision. Sometimes human decision could bias. Okay, human decision it could bias. However, when we have nowadays uh AI, sometimes you have a system, it could improve your decision more accurate. Okay, and as well as smart supply chains and for the customer management. Okay, for example, we are using AI chatbots and fraud detections and Amazon logistics. Okay, you when using the AI, you can detect the frauds. Okay, before this, if you are using nowadays, I know before we are using all machines, all system, we are using like manual filing system. You can detect the frauds. People simply can what we call people simply can uh do a fraud within like a money laundering. So when we have this all the system, all the AI, it could detect it, okay, and could improve your business or your operation efficiency. Okay. And then it as well could unlock new business models. Okay, for example, nowadays in business, they need a new idea, they need a new innovation in order to improve their product. If they static with their product, how they want to get more profit, how they can get more their revenue from it. So they are using AI. So from AI, they will ask what a new business model they can use it. Okay, for example, ChatGPT. ChatGPT could come up with a new business marketing strategy, new business model. So it could help this business. So AI in marketplace and platform subscribes, for example, as model. Okay, nowadays they are using, for example, Uber, Google AI platform. So from this platform, from AI, they could come up with help the decision maker to help to get new ideas in order to create new innovation. Okay, when they have come up with the new models, it could test it and it successfully. They will come get the more profit. Okay, before they will have to think about many years to come up with the new models, many years to come up with the models, many years what is suitable for our business. But with the ChatGPT nowadays, they will come up with a new uh ideas and innovation. For example, okay, you are in fashion business, fashion what we call it, fashion um industry. So definitely you need fashion industry needs something new every year, every single day. So if you still static with the new fashion, with the new style, with the old style, how you want to improve your business, how you can get more profit, how all those customer will loyal with you. So with this, when you have the new idea, new innovation, definitely your customer will love it and they will stay with it. So with this AI today, it will improve you and will help you to come up with a new business model. Okay, and then AI as well could come up with advanced knowledge discovery. How you can cover with all this knowledge? For example, like big data. Okay, with the big data, you can in AI, they will as a database, and then we collect all those data and you just refer it. Okay, for example, you are looking for the literature on AI. So you just ask, okay, ChatGPT, could you help me how to get literature on AI? So ChatGPT will list all of this instead of you just go to instead of that like Scopus as well. You can just list it. So if you go to the library, you need to go each one section. Now, if with this AI help today, AI tools, you can just go ask the AI or ChatGPT what the current letters of this literature. It will help you to get all this knowledge information. Okay, AI as well, it could use illegal, financial, and medical sector. Okay, for example, what it could use for the illegal and financial. Okay, so in the illegal or in the healthcare, it identifies the early sign of disease from medical scan. Okay, nowadays, before that, we are using a manual thing for the medical sector. But with the AI, easily now you just go and scan it using the CT scan. So easily you can detect your disease early. Okay, so example here, you can just market analysis, disease prediction. So in financial medical sector, we really need it for AI. Okay, as well in financial, they can predict what are the current latest statistic or the financial for that who let's say in the financial sector. So how about the ups and downs sector? So they can help it. AI could help it. Okay, in promoting sustainable innovation. Nowadays, AI could use for renewable energy grids. Okay, we are using smart tools at our home. You are using Internet of Things. Internet of Things and AI is connect to each other. For example, you are using Internet of Things. You have using your smartphones nowadays. You are using smart car. You are using smart what we call it, smart TV. So and then Alexa for nowadays. So all this could use as a sustainable innovation. You don't need to okay, for example, Tesla car, smart car, you don't need to use a gas. It could avoid the pollutions, and then it could as well use for okay, example in smart agriculture and waste management. They are using the AI to predict when it comes to the floods, monsoon season, so they know how to doing to harvesting. So with the AI, they will help in all the sector. It could promote for the innovation. Okay, and AI as well could facilitate human collaboration. It assists creative cognitive works and as well tutors and virtual classroom. Okay, nowadays teachers, lecturers are using, most of them using AI. Okay, they are using applications to help them instead of me as well using ChatGPT or other than Grammarly to help me. So before this, if you want to do a proofread, you have to ask proofreader. But with the AI application tool or AI whatever online system, you can just ask to help. But uh some of that not accurate. However, it could help us. It could what we call it is not waste our time as well. Okay, and then teachers are using AI tutors to help them. Okay, nowadays they use AI tools to do their teaching plan, to do their work plan. Okay, for example, before this they have to think manually. Okay, they have to think creatively. But with this AI tool, they use it how to do a teaching plan, how to do a plan for their students. So for me as well, me as example, I'm using ChatGPT to do to help me for my teaching plan. So from there, I will use that template, but might as well I use my own material, and then I combine it to make my work more become more attractive. Okay, so in here, example, you can use like editors, journalism, assistants. So with AI, it could help us more. And sorry, And as well to predict preventive innovation. Okay, you can have disease spread and disaster. Okay, for example, flood warning. Okay, in nowadays there are lots of we know that we can't predict when it come on natural disaster, but with AI it could give us a warning. Okay, for example, we have Met Office, we have weather forecast. So okay, for example, when you want to go today, is it raining or not? So you can just look at any forecast application. So it could help us. And then as well, using for the market agility and speeds. With this, it could help customer to get the real times of feedback analysis. Okay, for example, you are using the you are always as a reminder, or you like to do a market stock. Okay, so you can have the feedback analysis. Is it ups and down of your stock? So AI could help it. Okay. Okay, as a conclusions, AI could transform innovations in terms of product design, and it's help for the global problem solving, business management, sustainable society engagement. And yet, AI can't replace the human innovation. It's only amplifies it. And that's all for me. Thank you so much. Hello.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
There's a technical issue. Before we are waiting for the system keynote speakers, we will have a 5 minute Q&A for our first keynote speakers. Participants are welcome to post their question in the Zoom chat or raise their virtual hand. Please input your name, affiliation, and specify which speaker your question is.
Question, please.
Your voice is not clear, Miss Moderator.
Mm. Mm.
My voice is not clear enough.
Yes, little bit grazy and small volume.
Question and answer session, Miss?
Yes, there's
Okay.
one question in the chat box from Henny Kusumawati. How do you see AI adoption differing between developed and developing countries, especially in terms of innovation and R&D? And Dr. Dor Alisa, you may answer.
Okay, thank you, Henny Kusmawati. All right. Okay, as we know that there are developing country and developed country. For example, like developed country in States, UK, forever, and Malaysia as well is like a developing now. Okay, it's like in I could see from in United Kingdom, it's like they are more advanced from developing. Most of them are using everything like smart board, all that they are using IoT. Most of them are doing, they are okay. For example, nowadays we are cashless. Okay, okay. In a developed country, they are not using what we call that cash. All those cashless. Okay, we just go to the mall and then just pay with the QR code or from the any online application, bank online application. So compared to us in developing, we still using cash, or in terms of research and development. uh Nowadays we are still using the manual. Okay, for example, like advanced in developed country, they are using robotic to help them to do a research. And then might as well in the manufacturing, they, if instead of their data center as well, they are using robotic to help them, instead of okay, for example, like Google data center, they are now they are using robotic to help them to manage all those data, all those to pull up all the server. So that will be in develop. However, in us in developer country, it's like we're still using like manpower, and then for research and innovation, we still go through on our research area fields, and then go and do interview, and still using passing on the question paper, questionnaire survey. So most of them, as for me, even though we are still move forwards using this AI. So good for us to using AI. However, as I mentioned in my slide, AI can't replace the human. We still need a touch. We still need to go to on the field interview. Then we can have the full of joy of happiness when you are doing research. But instead of developed country, they are more want to look on their data compared to us. Like we want our joy and happiness. That's from my opinions. Is it I'm answering your questions?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's one more question from Muhtaram Ahmad for Dr. Nur Elisa. Could you please tell us what progressive world perspective on Industrial Revolution 4.0 and Society 5.0, or is called Smart Society?
Okay, all right. It's about the smart society nowadays. Okay. Now I know that most of the city, most of the society, they are towards on the smart city in it. So, for example, in Malaysia as well. Okay, we are using smart car, EV car, okay, electronic vehicles car, and then in order to avoid those pollution, and beside that, we are using all those gadgets to help us. Okay, smart refrigerator. So is they are more to use the smart, all those using IoT nowadays. So instead of that, law and perspective, sometimes we if you are using to all those other gadgets, and sometimes we can, okay, nowadays we are problem with the crime, cybercrime, and the scammers. So we have the law in order to detect it as well. So when you know the law, and you go and do a reports, launch a reports at the police station, and most of that criminal, or we who being scammers or whoever it is, will be protected. So there will be a law in terms of that. So I can see from the chat box. Is it I'm answering your questions, Mr. Mukhtaram?
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Yes, and there's the last question in here. The third question from Tuti Trihastuti. How can AI also play a role strengthening consumer protection? Does the development of AI system inherently include mechanisms to mitigate risks that may harm users, especially consumers? You
Okay.
may answer.
All right. Okay, as we know that when we put all our data online, it's like all those will be general. Okay, all those will be general. However, us should know how to protect us. Okay, for example, when you using Amazon, okay, you definitely you do shopping online. Okay, you are using online banking. So how to protect ourselves? Okay, you can use Wi-Fi in public. You can use your own mobile data to protect us. Okay, and then you have to know it. You have to clear all those history. And instead of that, wait, okay, instead of that, you can protect you. And then this AI as well, sometimes they have been developed because of the database. Actually, AI is like for the database. That's why when you search something, for example, in your Googles, and then that Googles will link to your Facebook, will link to your Instagram, sometime with the TikTok. So whatever you search, it will appear as well in Facebook, it will appear as well in TikTok and Instagram. So it's like a database. So it's like a current you are searching in that thing. So it will appear as well. So we as a consumer know our rules, how to protect us. Okay, for example, in order to protect from the scammers, in order to protect people could attack us, you should not use your data or privacy in public. You could use your own data in order for you to use your to go browse in the public. Okay, that's how you protect it. Because sometimes we don't know the scammers could attack us. Scammers are everywhere. They could send us a text, they could send us through your email, and as well you could attack us from your Facebook as well. So you don't know who is the scammer, but you have to protect yourself. You have to know what are the shield for yourself. Okay, my advice, okay, for my student, I always advise that if you always do online shopping, make sure you don't do it public. You don't use any Wi-Fi public. You just use your data, because from there, scammers could attack your Maybank, your bank application, or they could do some hackers on it. Okay. There's some more questions here.
Yeah. Maybe one more question.
Yeah, it's like
Is it okay?
okay, yeah, should be fine.
Okay.
Can is it from Henny Kusumawati? Ni?
Henry Kusumawati, yes. How can educational systems better prepare researchers and students to participate in AI-driven innovation?
Okay, actually nowadays, teachers and lecturer know, because some of the teachers in, okay, I will talk about Malaysia, okay, from Malaysia. Okay, teachers in Malaysia nowadays, they always have the training. Okay, they always have participate in the trainings, and most of their institution will organize the training in order to improve their teaching and learning. Okay, instead of using manual things, books, whatever it is, they could using application to help their students. And as well, they can school as well could play a part, or their institution could play a part to encourage their students about this, or to aware their students about this AI application. Or as well, AI could help them in the innovation. As my student, they are more advanced. Okay, like most of them, if I ask, they say, okay, we can use ChatGPT to help us, right? So we and we could ask mention as well, if we are using ChatGPT, there will be a copyright. Okay, if you 100% you copyright from the ChatGPT, um there will be a wrongly attitudes. Okay, so we as a teachers, as a lecturer, have to give aware on this, or else we ourselves to prepare on about this AI driven, and then we always must always attend the training from the trainers, or else go for the training on that.
Sumawati, is it answering your question?
Yeah, sorry.
Yes, thank you. Okay. And then because we still have time for 8 minutes, maybe one another question from Widiana Indah Permata. What are your thoughts on young people today who are now more dependent on AI, such as ChatGPT, and how can we coexist with AI without reducing creativity in this era rapid technological development?
Okay. I can't deny on it, because I can't deny it. Okay, I'm undenied, because I know most of us today depends on ChatGPT. I know, and there are others application, for example, like Grammarly and others AI application. How they we as I mentioned, ChatGPT could give us information, could give us a data. However, it's sometimes it's not accurate, and it's depend on us as well to do some research. We can't depends on this ChatGPT. So from that, we can say to our student, we can say to all those who all depends on AI, like awareness of AI. You know the consequences we're using. All those things depends on AI. But nowadays I can't deny all of us are using ChatGPT and depends on AI. Even though my daughters as well, when you doing her homework, they're using ChatGPT. But I say if you're doing that ChatGPT, it's like you are copyright. You are copy everything. It's not you are not using your creative what call it creative thinking. So critical thinking. So you have to adapt it like 50-50. Some from ChatGPT and you have to use from your own knowledge because uh let the people say that beauty come from the brain. So you have to know and be smart. Some you can adapt from ChatGPT and some from the way you do a research and get your own knowledge. As for me, I sometimes I refer to the ChatGPT, but I'm not totally refers should be fine, but you can't totally get 100% chat from ChatGPT because you know it. ChatGPT is a database. It's like database. If you searching on this, it will give a full about it. But sometimes the current one it will miss on it. So you for you to go, it's you itself yourself to go and do some research on it. Am I answering your questions?
For Widiana Indah, is it answer your question?
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, it was a very insightful presentation for today to uh, opening this event. And we believe it's very challenging for us to balancing between we use ChatGPT and also we need to use our brain to think. Yeah, so we cannot 100% dependent on ChatGPT. For Dr. Elisa, we still have 5 minutes, so maybe you want to share more about the AI
Okay.
and every research that you did. Yes.
To be conclude on this topic, right? AI could help us. Okay, AI could help us. Instead of that, some of nowadays they are come out with some research that if one day we depends on AI, there we how could for example like some of the job prospect it could affect you if you do use AI. For example, like bankers, accountancy, auditors or whatever, like teacher as well. But lawyers, it could affect if you're using keep using this AI. However, as for me, I agree. AI is a good tools, but AI doesn't have a human touch. Okay, how you want to make as I mentioned, humans sometimes could do a bias, but with AI, it help us. So we can depends on 100% on AI, but it with the AI it could help our daily life or it become more better because I think nowadays in Indonesia as well they are more using EV car in Indonesia, electronic vehicles and Tesla cars. So all those like a machine, they are using machine like Tesla car. You are using machine to drive your car. Okay, or else you are ask Alexa to play on music. It's like okay, sometimes with this AI, it can make people to become more lazier. Okay, so however, as I mentioned, I can't deny. Okay, I can't say I'm 100% agree, but nowadays most of it depends on AI. But it's us to adapt it, to take it, and not make sure AI could influence us. Because sometimes we should play our parts. We should as well to make us to become in France. So if all AI, so what is us in future? And what we're going to do and what going to work if all AI could replace us. So us AI, we create AI, not AI create us. So it's depend on us. We can depend 100% on it. We have to use it, adapt it. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
I have a question regarding AI. Actually, I want to ask about the environmental perspective because know that everyone knows that ChatGPT, AI, everything have like need to have like a very big monitor processor. The machine is very big, and it's also taking a lot of water to cool down the machines. What are your thoughts about it? Also, because the global warming is we we can feel that every day. The weather is very hot nowadays. The global warming is very not comfortable for us. Actually, it's very quite annoying. So, what do you think about it?
All right. Yeah. As I know that, as far as my knowledge, okay, when you are using all AI, because you need a more superpower computers, like it will aspect, it will affect our global, okay, and like our Earth become more sicker, okay, it's like hot every day. So uh from there, it's like one of environmental there's a environmental green for those application. So in order that you nowadays, like aircon is it, we call it aircon, there's an environmental aircon, like uh it's like, you know, when you using the more power. So we every some of device has a environmental device. So even though those tools or gadgets could affect our earth, but they try to design that something could save our earth. Beside that, now I know that more global warming is increased nowadays, pollution everywhere. It could affect because of these people using AI, and then they are built it, they are even instead of in manufacturing as well, they are using robotic. So if they want to develop these chips, they will affect our global. But we try as well to have the environmental device. Okay, for example, like EV car, and then for example like air conditioning, and instead of most of gadgets are nowadays like ever environmentals.
Okay, thank you so much for the very wonderful and exciting discussion. Um, thank you so much, and we want to for the next. We're going to the next keynote speakers. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to introduce our second keynote speaker, Mr. Rizky Aulia Rahmanata Kusuma. Mr. Rizky, it is now my pleasure to introduce our second keynote speaker. Mr. Rizky earned his bachelor's and master's degree in economics from the University of Nottingham, United Kingdom. He is currently serving as a member of Commission 1 of the House of Representatives of the Republic of Indonesia, focusing on defense, foreign affairs, intelligence, and communication affairs. Please join me in warmly welcoming our second keynote speaker, Mr. Rizky Aulia Rahma Natakusuma.
Thank you, Mbak. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Yang saya hormati, all the distinguished guests yang ada di sini. Pertama saya terima kasih banyak karena sudah dikirimkan invitation-nya oleh Ibu Meida kemarin. I was told to give this speech in English. Is that correct? Atau saya bisa pakai bahasa Indonesia atau gimana ini? Takutnya nanti.
Please do your speech in English.
Oke, ya. Atau kita mix saja lah ya. Karena bahasa Inggrisnya ini udah beberapa tahun nggak dipakai, agak tumpul gitu. Mungkin ini ajang yang baik buat asah kembali. Yang saya hormati Bu Meida, terima kasih udah extending the invitation to me, all the panelists, distinguished panelists, the keynote speakers. I joined the Zoom link earlier, and I was listening to the speech given by, more like a presentation given by a lecturer from Malaysia. Kayaknya tadi, jadi it was a good experience as well. Thank you very much. And Bapak Profesor Dr. Faisal Santiago, Bapak Profesor Insinyur Bambang Bernantos, saya juga dikasih tahu that the people who are assembled in this Zoom meeting today consist of postgraduate and doctoral students from Universitas Borobudur. I hope that's correct. And it is my wish to congratulate you. It is my wish to wish you all the best in your endeavors, in achieving all the educational achievements that you will achieve. Menurut saya penting sekali Universitas Borobudur, salah satu universitas ternama di Indonesia. Saya yakin semua murid, all the students, whether in Indonesia or maybe in Southeast Asia, have heard of the achievements of the University of Borobudur. Actually, some of my family members actually graduated from University of Borobudur, so it's a great honor to be here today in this virtual Zoom meeting with highly educated people. So, introducing myself, tadi moderator juga sudah menyampaikan, saya Rizky Aulia Rahman Atakusuma. Saat ini saya duduk sebagai anggota DPR RI, sebagai Ketua Badan Urusan Rumah Tangga di DPR RI, sebagai anggota Komisi 1, Commission 1 in DPR RI. It is a commission that deals with foreign affairs. It is a commission that deals with intelligence, Komdigi, salah satunya, terus kemudian defense, pertahanan. It is something that I think is close to all of your hearts. And I was first elected in 2019. Nggak kerasa Bapak Ibu, time tuh terus ticking gitu. Rasanya kemarin saya baru dilantik pertama kali, dapat amanah dari masyarakat di Banten 1. Banten 1 tuh daerah Kidul, Banten Selatan. Pak Ustadz Hamid sent me something here. Ustadz Hamid is actually someone who extended the invitation to me. So originally from Ibu Meida to Ustadz Hamid, and Ustadz Hamid extended the invitation to me. Ustadz Hamid is also a very senior member of Parliament. Back to my point, so I was first elected in 2019. I remember it vividly. Pertama kali dilantik, masuk di DPR, bawa amanah besar, dan feelingnya luar biasa. And there was a great, immense sense of responsibility. Tapi yang jelas ini adalah learning process yang sangat meaningful. Tapi yang saya mau sampaikan, Bapak Ibu semua, pertama, there are still too many people, I think, in Indonesia that are still not aware of the responsibilities of the legislative. Apa sih tugas DPR tuh? Saya yakin Bapak Ibu semua di sini pasti orang-orang yang sangat paham dan sangat menggandrungi gitu. Tugas dari DPR RI yang selama ini dekat sebenarnya dengan hati masyarakat, tapi mungkin in terms of standards, in terms of ethics, in terms of procedures, it still need to improve. We in the legislative branch, tentu pertama tugasnya adalah untuk legislasi, membuat undang-undang. Kemudian we also budget. We approve whether or not the budget that is proposed by every department, every kementerian yang dipropose kepada DPR. DPR sebagai wakil dari masyarakat harus menyetujui gitu, atau tidak menyetujui. Apakah sesuai dengan aspirations that we perjuangkan yang datang dari daerah pemilihan masing-masing. So that in essence that's the main job of DPR. Saya mau kilas balik sedikit. Di tahun 2019 pertama kali saya dilantik, it was the COVID period. Mungkin Bapak Ibu semua, many people who are here, I think I'll just deliver it in English because I see some of the people here. There's Professor Delton Ribeiro from Brazil. I'm sorry if you're lost in translation. I thought this room is full of Indonesians. And so yeah, many people would forget. Just in a few years back, we were living in a very different period, a very different life. We were obliged to wear mask, social distancing. Zoom meeting was, always present in our everyday lives. Actually, it was funny this morning when I was about to join the meeting. I had to update everything because it's been a while since I last used this Zoom platform. But during the COVID period, every meeting, including the parliamentary meetings that I had, that all the parliamentarians had in a few years back, it was with this Zoom platform. And my party, the Democratic Party, Partai Demokrat, was in opposition during the COVID period. So there was a bit of a challenge. I was told that this meeting today is to talk about the multidisciplinary of efforts, of endeavors, of schools of thought, of thoughts in solving global issues. I'm sharing with you and that in the last term, my party was in opposition during the COVID period, so there was a bit of a challenge for me. Agak jadi tantangan buat partai saya dan kami yang ada di DPR gitu. Because on the one hand, we need to show alternatives to the public. We were in opposition, so our task was to give alternatives to the public, that there is an alternative way, a fairer alternative, a better alternative for the people. But on the other hand, we also needed to show support and togetherness, that we're all in this together. So that was the challenge, politically, that's what needed to be shown by the members of opposition in the parliament, whether in the commission meeting. Actually, the meetings that people see on TV, most of us see on TV, are the General Assembly, Rapat Paripurna. That's the big meeting. We just have to listen to speeches. Many of them are actually very boring. But the small meetings, the commission meetings, that's the intense meetings. That's the select committee hearings. That's the intense arguments, where the intense arguments are. That's when the ministers give detailed proposal to the parliament, not in the big meeting, but in small meetings. So that's where members of parliament have to argue. That's when members of parliament have to show that that the government is being held accountable, that the aspirations that the people give to us as members of parliament are being represented, not just from the parliamentary voice, but also in government policies, government programs. So that was quite a challenge during the COVID period. And I remember one of the great tasks back then from the Commission 1, from Komisi 1, was to remind Kementerian Luar Negeri, the Department of Foreign Affairs, about the importance of the access to vaccines. Vaksin waktu itu Pak, ingat ya, pertama masuk, first it came Sinovac from China, and then came first Sinopharm, I think, and then came Sinovac also from China. That's the first few vaccines that actually entered Indonesian market. And then there is a better brand, so to speak, AstraZeneca from the United Kingdom. It was very limited, we had to fight, Indonesia had to fight for the access of vaccines. And then ada Pfizer. Wow, Pfizer was like the high-end brand of the vaccine. This is the best. Without Pfizer, you cannot enter this country or that country. You remember that? That was only a few years ago. And many people, I think, have forgotten that. And I think it's important to be reminded of that, because if it happened in the past, we need to make sure that it doesn't happen in the future, not just in terms of the disease, bukan hanya penyakitnya, tapi permasalahan access to vaccines juga. Itu luar biasa. Access to, kayaknya it was very monopolized, and it was very hard to get access to those vaccines. And Indonesia had to fight. The members of parliament also had to voice it every week to the government, to lobby internationally, to every country, to the United States, to China, to many platforms in the global realms to get those vaccines, buat dapetin vaksinnya gitu loh. Ini flashback sedikit gitu. And waktu itu saya pernah, I was in a forum with leaders of opposition from around the world. Partai-partai oposisi di seluruh dunia waktu itu, Zoom meeting juga seperti ini. There are many great figures back then, like Jeremy Corbyn, Partai Buruh waktu itu di Labour Party from the United Kingdom, Partai Buruh di Inggris. Ada Yanis Varoufakis waktu itu, mantan menteri keuangan dari Greece, dari Yunani, semuanya assemble to voice their concerns. And I remember thinking, voicing is one thing. Bayangkan waktu itu luar biasa banyak figur-figur besar, figur-figur oposisi di dunia ini yang besar, berkumpul, assemble in one meeting. They're voicing all their concerns. They're voicing all the problems. Mereka suarakan semuanya, tapi ujung-ujungnya hanya debat. Ujung-ujungnya hanya suara. Yang saya mau sampaikan adalah change can only happen from within. Perubahan hanya bisa terjadi if you're in it. Kalau kita berada di dalam gitu. And I think it's also important as a reflection in the past. Mungkin sebelum ke penutup, saya dikasih tahu cuma ada 20 menit di sini. Salah satu realitas di politik atau di parlemen yang kita punya nih di Indonesia, I think it's also the case in parliaments of many other countries or every country in the world, is you get elected by your constituents. Your constituents send you there. Konstituen Anda yang kirim Anda ke DPR. Dan konstituen Anda itu bisa dari perkotaan, bisa dari pedesaan. They can come from rural areas or the urban areas. They have many problems. There are many things that keep them awake at night. And you're obliged to voice it. Anda harus suarakan gitu. But once you're elected, cuma ada beberapa commissions. There are only a few commissions that you can be in. Cuma ada beberapa komisi gitu loh. And komisinya rata-rata banyak yang mau masuk ke komisi-komisi tersebut. People fight for positions of commissions. Dari Commission 1 until 13. Commission 1, My Commission, Foreign Affairs, Comdigi, dan lain-lain. Commission 13, HAM, Human Rights. Commission 5, itu Infrastructure. Commission 4, itu Agriculture. So you might not be able to be in the commission that you desire. Bapak dan Ibu nanti kalau nasibnya masuk ke DPR, mungkin DPR sekarang citranya lagi kurang baik, tapi ke depan harus bisa improve. Tapi saya yakin di sini calon-calon pemimpin, bahkan sudah jadi pemimpin, mungkin sebagian besar yang ada di sini ke depan bakal duduk di DPR. Gitu. Kita nggak bisa dapat selalu komisi yang kita mau. Akhirnya ada gap gitu loh, antara apa yang kadang-kadang disuarakan paling banyak oleh masyarakat kita, oleh konstituen kita, dengan urusan yang komisi yang kita suarakan setiap harinya. Jadi pertanyaannya, for all leaders here, how do you deal with that? Gimana caranya kita bisa kasih solusi ke permasalahan konstituen kita yang ada di daerah pegunungan, di Papua, yang ada di daerah pesisir, di Banten Selatan, saat kita duduk di komisi yang mungkin nggak terlalu berkaitan dengan masalah-masalah tersebut. Misal Komisi 3, yang paling bergengsi gitu, misalnya di DPR katanya itu tentang penegakan hukum dan lain sebagainya. So in the end, it's all about network. It's all about how you maximize your capabilities, how you maximize yourself, how you maximize every tool that you have. Yang saya sadar setelah masuk di DPR, nanti di dalam DPR pun sama gitu. Ada yang baik, ada yang kurang baik, ada yang tidak baik. Ada yang rajin, ada yang setengah rajin, ada yang nggak terlalu rajin. Ada yang, but the people quite rightly demand that all of them have to do as best as they can. Tapi di dalamnya sebenarnya sama gitu loh. Ada yang cepat bisa mengikuti proses, ada yang tidak. Ada yang fokusnya, yang penting masyarakat konstituen saya di dapil terwakili. Ada yang fokusnya, saya harus buat undang-undang yang baik, jadi saya harus ngantor tiap hari dan lain sebagainya. So, it's a jungle. It's a world where you have to maximize your capabilities. Tapi the reality in politics or in the parliament today, yang tadi saya mau sampaikan adalah, kadang-kadang karena urusan komisi yang kita akhirnya dimasukin, ketua fraksi, ketua umum taruh kita di komisi A, akhirnya kita harus belajar. Jadi banyak hal-hal yang kita sebelumnya nggak punya expertise. Ini kenapa penting anggota DPR sama orang dari akademia, orang dari akademik harus sering nyambung gitu. Karena misalnya di Komisi 1 kita baru selesai urusan Undang-Undang Pelindungan Data Pribadi, Undang-Undang ITE. Ke depan ini ada Undang-Undang Penyiaran. Ini hal-hal yang butuh expertise yang cukup kuat gitu. Hal yang cukup teknis. Undang-Undang Keamanan Laut misalnya. Itu butuh expertise yang luar biasa. Jadi network yang Bapak Ibu punya di sini, network yang Bapak Ibu bangun di Universitas Borobudur, ke depan harus tetap dijaga. Karena seperti hal yang saya bilang tadi, banyak sekali hal-hal yang kita diskusikan, many things that were discussed in the parliament, whether as a lawmaking process, whether it's about budgeting, whether it's about making sure that the government is being held accountable, itu banyak butuh masukan dari sivitas akademia gitu. Banyak butuh masukan dari peneliti-peneliti kebijakan. Jadi saya sekali lagi mungkin di sini karena Zoom ada yang lagi nyetir, ada yang lagi di setengah fokus, tapi saya ingin menyampaikan sharing saja. I'm not sure whether this can be seen as a keynote speech, more like a keynote sharing kayaknya. Because I believe that everyone yang ada di sini everyone yang ada di Zoom meeting ini pasti dekat sama hatinya urusan kebijakan publik. Pasti dekat sama hatinya urusan proses politik setiap harinya. Kita punya pemerintahan baru sekarang. We have a new government with a new set of ambitions. Ambisi-ambisi besar luar biasa. Makan bergizi gratis menjadi landmark policy dari pemerintahan Pak Prabowo. Actually just visited dapur makan bergizi gratis in my constituency. 2 kitchens of this free nutritious meal program of Presiden Prabowo. Saya datang ke sana ternyata membuahkan hasil yang seharusnya bisa transformatif ke depan gitu loh. Kalau produksinya bisa diciptakan secara lokal, kalau berasnya bisa datang dari BUMDes, kalau semuanya bisa dioptimalkan dalam 5 tahun, 10 tahun ke depan harusnya kebijakan ini bisa transformatif. Gitu. Saya lihat murid-muridnya, saya datang ke SD, SMP, SMA juga senang mereka semuanya sebenarnya gitu. Satu kitchen kasih makanan untuk ada yang 1.000 orang, ada yang 2.000 orang, ada yang 3.000 orang. Ke depan menurut saya ini kebijakan karena Pak Presiden terpilih untuk merealisasikan kebijakan ini menurut saya akan hanya progresif gitu loh ke depan, akan hanya ke atas ke depan, akan hanya membaik ke depan dan akan hanya bisa jadi lebih besar ke depan. Jadi this is also a policy that many of us here I think need to pay a close attention to. And in the end, saya mau tutup dengan poin bahwa I think it's also after we talk about all the policies, after we discuss all the policies, I think it's right for us to also discuss about our system of government, our system of politics. Bapak Ibu di sini semua pasti banyak yang menjadi baik itu peneliti atau aktivis di tahun 98 setelah reformasi. We have made a decision as a country to pursue this democratic process, this democratic system. And democracy as a system, of course, has its flaws, punya kekurangan-kekurangan, tapi punya kebaikan-kebaikan. Kebaikannya sekarang di sistem demokrasi kita, masyarakat bisa menyuarakan apapun yang mereka mau. That's the first rule of a democracy, the power to be heard, the power of the freedom of speech. That's something that needs to be guaranteed in our country. Tapi juga bukan berarti enggak punya kekurangan-kekurangan. Kekurangannya biasanya inconsistency. Biasanya pemerintahan satu mempunyai kebijakan apa, pemerintah selanjutnya belum tentu melanjutkan kebijakan-kebijakan tersebut. So there is an inconsistency in policies that affect people's lives. So I think saya kembalikan kepada Bapak Ibu semua to debate, to discuss bagaimana kita ke depan bisa menjaga iklim demokrasi ini. Kebebasan berpendapat, kebebasan menyatakan ekspresi, kebebasan untuk memilih, dan kebebasan untuk yang dipilih untuk membuat kebijakan-kebijakan baru in charting our own course ke depan. Tapi di sisi yang sama, di sisi lain, di waktu yang sama, harus bisa memberikan konsistensi, gitu. Harus bisa membuktikan kepada dunia kita bisa konsisten. That's a hard work. That's a very great task. Dan saya kembalikan ke Bapak Ibu semua untuk mendebat dan untuk mendiskusikan tentang isu-isu itu semua. Terima kasih sekali lagi untuk Universitas Borobudur. Saya doakan sukses dan mudah-mudahan nanti kita bisa silaturahmi secara langsung dan diskusi secara langsung. Saya tutup. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rizky, for your sharing in politics. We are informed that you are having a very tight schedule, but it will be a pleasure for us if you want to answer 1 or 2 questions from the chat box. Is it okay for you? Yes, maybe you
Now?
want to.
Sekarang, Mbak? Oke,
Yeah,
kalau sekarang
sekarang.
boleh.
If you want to, but if you don't want to, maybe you can go because you have
I
a very
can
tight
take
schedule.
a few questions karena setelah ini ada ketua saya nikahin anaknya, jadi saya harus ke nikahan ada wedding, tapi I can take few questions.
Okay, there are already 2 questions in the chat box. First from Mukhtarom Ahmad. Could you please figure out the transformation of law formation and law enforcement in Indonesia for the next future? Indonesia 2045 vision. Yeah, the question is in the chat box. And question from Dani Kusuma. How can legislators comprehensively capture the aspiration of the people, given that sometimes the regulations discussed in the House of Representatives do not address the needs of the people? Fundamental issues are sometimes not included in the priority scale.
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah,
Rizky, you may answer if you want.
Yes, thank you for the questions. These are great questions. These are very academic questions yang kadang-kadang butuh dijawab oleh politisi, tapi sebenarnya butuh masukan dari orang-orang yang ada di akademik gitu loh. Karena pertama soal law enforcement, soal bagaimana kita bisa merevisi satu, baik itu tentang law enforcement ataupun undang-undang yang lain. Saya cerita sedikit tentang tadi saya sebenarnya menyentuh tentang bagaimana kadang-kadang proses pembuatan undang-undang di DPR itu rumitnya luar biasa. In the legislative branch, we live in a parliament, we live in a multi-party system. Artinya di parlemen sekarang ada 8 political parties, ada 8 partai, dan setiap partai punya ambisinya masing-masing, punyai tugasnya masing-masing, punyai standpoint-nya masing-masing. Tapi sebenarnya begitu kita duduk di komisi membahas undang-undang, itu semangatnya sebagian besar kolegial, very collegial spirit, tapi detailsnya yang beda. And sometimes we're stuck in debating these details, whether itu tentang, saya yakin di Komisi 3 sedang membahas RKUHP, kemudian di hukum-hukum lain, contohnya a small example would be bagaimana kita memanage dan menjaga keamanan siber. That's also law enforcement. Keamanan siber berarti kita di Indonesia ini ada Badan Siber dan Sandi Negara. Kemudian kita ada Siber Polri. Kemudian kita ada Komdiji. Kemudian kita ada BIN, Intelligence, Badan Intelijen Negara. Jadi kalau udah hal-hal yang menyangkut kedaulatan siber, itu BIN pasti ambil andil di situ. TNI juga sekarang mempunyai andil atau mempunyai tanggung jawab di dunia siber tersebut. Begitu kita masuk ke ruangan membahas undang-undang, sudah DPR-nya terpecah 8 karena 8 partai yang semangatnya mungkin sama tapi detailnya beda dan kadang-kadang kita bahasnya kata per kata gitu. Udah itu belum ketemu, dari sisi pemerintahnya pun itu nggak setuju satu sama lain. Saya yakin Bapak Ibu juga di sini udah mengerti gitu ya. Kalau kita mau ngasih kewenangan ke badan baru, berarti kita harus ngambil kewenangan dari badan yang lama, dari sini tarik ke sini. Itu pasti ada ego sektoral di situ. Pasti ada yang nggak mau di situ. Namanya juga lahan orang gitu. Siapa yang mau diambil gitu kan. That's I think one of the examples that I can give tentang kadang-kadang memang agak sulit untuk membahas satu undang-undang yang mau komprehensif gitu loh, yang mau mendobrak satu isu gitu loh. Karena pasti harus ada penyimbangan baru dalam kekuatan si kementerian lembaganya juga tersebut gitu. Ini butuh political endeavor yang kuat, butuh political will yang kuat, bukan hanya dari DPR tapi dari presiden dan juga kementerian lembaga semuanya. Kalau kita mau selesain satu masalah, saya kemarin di akhir periode kemarin duduk di pansus rancangan undang-undang kelautan. Di laut kita itu ada berapa belas leading sektor. Ada kementerian KKP. Saya sebenarnya nggak perlu terlalu sharing banyak di sini karena saya yakin Bapak Ibu semuanya udah mengetahui. Tapi saya ulas sedikit saja. Ada kementerian KKP, Perikanan, ada Bea Cukai, ada Badan Keamanan Laut, ada Angkatan Laut, ada Polisi Air, ada banyak sekali itu. Dirjen Hubla di Kementerian Perhubungan, ada banyak sekali. Ini gimana untuk bisa ciptain satu undang-undang yang kepentingan bukan hanya di politik DPR-nya, tapi kepentingan di dalam leading sektor di pemerintahnya saja nggak ketemu. That's actually one of the hard things in DPR. Tapi masyarakat pasti nggak mau tahu. Masyarakat pokoknya harus diselesain. But the details dalam pembahasannya kadang-kadang nggak masuk di dalam berita. Gitu. Yang di dalam berita biasanya DPR baru selesai 1 undang-undang. DPR setelah 1 tahun baru selesai 4 undang-undang. Yes, DPR-nya harus bisa lebih keras lagi kerjanya. Harus bisa lebih benar lagi gitu. Dalam etika, dalam pembahasan, dalam semua. Tapi sebenarnya kalau dilihat di dalam detailnya, itu pemerintah satu sama lainnya belum setuju itu. Di dalam satu undang-undang yang banyak undang-undang yang luar biasa. Undang-undang penyiaran misalnya. Sekarang kita hidup di mana masyarakat dapat informasinya itu udah bukan lewat nonton TVRI News jam 6 gitu kan. Sekarang kita udah pakai YouTube, udah pakai semua platform. Itu apakah harus diregulasikan juga atau enggak itu mereka tuh yang YouTube, terus Netflix, terus video.com, terus mereka. Ini saya nggak nyebut. Ini kan an academic platform ya. Kita bukan lagi bahas ini secara kontroversial gitu. Saya cuma sharing. Ini harus diatur apa enggak? Ya? Sedangkan peraturan-peraturan regulasi yang ada cukup menjerat media-media konvensional, perusahaan media konvensional, pajak, aturan, regulasi, KPI dan lain sebagainya. Yang ini agak berat sebelah. Harus diatur atau enggak kira-kira? Dan itu butuh persatuan, tapi juga dari sisi pemerintahnya butuh komitmen bersama. Jadi ini yang terjadi di pembahasan undang-undang. Saya yakin transformasi of law formation and law enforcement di Indonesia menuju 2045 vision itu jauh lebih rumit dari ini. Jadi butuh political will dan kebersamaan dan persatuan yang luar biasa itu. Dan saya yakin dari Universitas Borobudur punya expertise yang luar biasa, punya pakar-pakar dengan pandangan-pandangan yang lebih detailed, lebih baik. Mohon disampaikan kepada DPR, kira-kira DPR juga biar DPR juga tahu jalan untuk ngasih solusinya seperti ini gitu loh. Karena DPR ya isinya manusia-manusia juga sebenarnya yang butuh masukan, yang butuh pandangan, yang butuh ilmu gitu loh, butuh dikasih masukan oleh manusia-manusia yang sekarang bergerak di bidang akademik. Yang kedua dan mungkin ini pertanyaan yang tadi udah dibahas, how can legislators comprehensively capture the aspirations of the people? Gitu. Tadi saya bahas tentang dipilih dari daerah pertanian, duduk di komisi pertahanan. Itu gimana gitu ya, kita sebaik-baiknya menggunakan network yang kita punya. Karena nggak mungkin saya di Komisi Pertahanan, saya turun ke dapil di Banten 1, di Banten Selatan, di daerah ujung kulon gitu loh. Saya nggak mungkin bahas tentang tank Leopard, saya nggak mungkin bahas tentang pesawat jet tempur Rafale yang mau dibeli sama pemerintah, nggak ada yang mungkin saya nggak didengerin kalau di daerah pemilihan saya ngomongin tentang itu. Daerah pemilihan saya butuhnya jalan, banyak yang masih bolong. Daerah pemilihan saya butuhnya traktor, Karena sekarang subsidi pupuk udah aksesnya udah baik, tapi traktor untuk ngebajak sawah ini masih terbatas, dan irigasi tersier, irigasi yang kecil-kecil antar petak sawah tuh penting gitu loh di daerah Banten Selatan sana, dan saya yakin banyak daerah lain yang mengadukan permasalahan ini jadi permasalahan inti. Itu yang disuarakan oleh masyarakat di dapil saya, tapi tentu ini bukan yang menjadi tupoksi saya sehari-hari di komisi. Saya nggak ada gunanya di komisi bahas tentang irigasi tersier. Mungkin saya bisa minta TNI bantu pemerintah daerah untuk mensukseskan program-program pro pangannya Pak Prabowo. Tapi secara teknis itu adanya di Kementerian Pertanian, di Kementerian PU, di kementerian lain gitu loh. So in the end, it's all about teamwork. In the end, it's all about maximizing your capabilities, maximizing your network. Punya teman di Komisi 4 ya deketin gitu loh. Deketinnya ya bukan dengan bersurat apa segala macam, no, ngobrol. Kalau bisa kita barter program, kalau bisa kita arahkan sebagian program dari kementerian tersebut ke daerah pemilihan lain, nanti kita juga dari komisi kita alihkan ke mereka gitu. Tapi kadang-kadang suka hati-hati gitu, karena nanti juga ada miss dalam administrasinya, suka ada miss juga itu nanti kalau kok ini program komisi ini larinya ke dapil. Jadi so it's complicated, tapi it can be done. Dan kalau kita punya kemampuan untuk menetwork yang baik ke komisi-komisi lain, kita sering ngobrol sama mereka, kita dekat sama mereka. Dengan kementerian lain juga saya yakin anggota DPR linknya banyak, bisa menarik sebagian program secara benar administrasinya dan lain sebagainya, pertanggungjawabannya ke daerah pemilihan kita. So that's how we can comprehensively not just capture, tapi implement. In capturing agak tricky karena masyarakat saya di Banten Selatan, dapil saya ada 2,8 juta, semuanya penting, semuanya punya aspirasi yang beda. So we have to have priorities. Prioritasnya ya apa yang paling banyak disuarakan, apa yang menjadi permasalahan utama, infrastruktur kah? Apakah itu pertanian kah? Infrastruktur tentu punya efek ke kehidupan banyak orang dan lain sebagainya. Jadi itu yang mungkin perlu disuarakan.
Thank you so much for the answer. Is it answering your question for Muhtaram Ahmad and Dani Kusuma?
I think enough. Thank you, Mr. Rizky.
Alright. So we are already in my birthday right now. The
Hello?
time is up. Thank you so much for yes.
Halo?
Is somebody speaking? Yes.
Ya, I am Aryo Karyono. You can ask directly.
I'm sorry, Mr. Karyono.
Ya, you can ask directly. Wakil kita yang DPR.
The time is already up. I'm so sorry. Maybe you can ask him for another event or in other times.
Gimana Pak Aryo?
Oke, bisa tanya
Or
langsung
maybe just
pada Bapak.
Boleh,
write
Pak.
down the
Boleh ya langsung.
Saya kayak agak
Ini
mengganjal.
saya mendengar dari masyarakat banyak Pak mengenai masalah rancangan undang-undang
sir,
yang
I'm so sorry. This is an international conference and you need to speak in English. If not, maybe you can type it down on the chat box. Thank you.
campur, Miss. English and
I'm so
Indonesia.
sorry. Also, the time is already up. I'm so sorry.
Maybe
I need to
can
mute you.
someone to translate.
Okay.
Time's up. Okay, go on, Miss.
So if someone has a question, please type it in the chat box.
Okay, Mbak. Thank you, by the way. This is a great honor for me to be here. And I think We will have many
Question,
dissertations
please.
and
So sorry that the time is already up. I think this
okay.
is a goodbye from and a closing from Mr. Rizky.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody. I know everyone has concerns, and I think it's a delight for me to be here. I'm sorry for our foreign special guests if you're lost in translation in some of the aspects that we discussed. But I think it's a great event organized by University of Borobudur, and I hope that everyone here will use this event to advance not just knowledge but also network. And it's my great honor to be here this morning. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir.
Th-
Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. See you next time. Thank you very much.
All right, everyone. It's already an end for the keynote speakers in this main session. The first speaker is Dr. Nur Elisa Abud Aziz. She was presented about her paper in AI and how AI can impact positively for human, for everyone in this lifetime, and also Mr. Rizky Aulia Rahman from House of Representatives of Legislative of Indonesia, and he was sharing his political experiences in the past. Now, we will now continue with our main session for speakers' presentation. Our first speaker is Dr. Delton Ribeiro Brazil from the University of Itaúna and Avia, Brazil. Dr. Delton holds a postdoctoral degree in law from UNIME, Italy, and a PhD in law from Gama Filho University in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. He is a professor in the undergraduate, master's, and doctoral program in the protection of fundamental rights at the University of Itaúna and at the Faculty of Sete Lagoas. His work focuses on civil law frameworks, digital rights, and fundamental liberties. Today, he will present the Brazilian Draft Bill number 4, 2025, and the foundations of cyber governance toward a civil law framework for the digital dimension of the human person. Dr. Dalton, the screen is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. First of all, good morning to you all. Here in Brazil, it's still night. We're still on Friday, and it's about a quarter to midnight in Friday. Well,
Midnight.
I also would like to give my heartiest thanks to Dr. Juvari Sarkawi, to Dr. Meira Hashimawati, for the organizer committee, and also to the University of Borobudur for the very kind invitation. For me, it's the first time that I speak to so prestigious audience in Indonesia. That's why I'm very happy to be here. Well, my topic today, I have a screen to share. I'll try to send. I have sent my request for sharing. Is it possible?
Yes. Go answer. Go answer.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Well, I'm not allowed to share my screen.
Okay, wait a second. We're
Go
going
ahead.
to
Okay, I
coordinate
think
with the
now
IT.
it's possible. Okay, is it visible?
Yes, your screen is really visible.
Excellent.
Thank you very much. Well, as I said before, my topic, it's about Brazil, because I think Indonesia also belong to BRICS, And I thought that to bring something about Brazil would be very interesting for you all. And the topic, it's about the Brazilian draft bill number 4 from 2025 and the foundations of cyber governance toward a civil law framework for the digital dimension of the human person. I would say for my first words that about new technologies, artificial intelligence in Brazil, we still don't have laws. We need to make a regulation of the artificial intelligence. And that's why I'm bringing the draft bill number 4. It's discussing in our Brazilian Congress. Well, to understand the draft bill and about cyber governance, I would make an introduction, and I would say that my presentation examines the Brazilian draft bill number 4, 2025, which proposes the inclusion of a book 6 about digital civil law into the Civil Code of 2002. Our code, our civil code, has over 2,000 articles. And this draft bill, number 4, is bringing more than 700 new articles, and also bringing a new code, which is titled as Digital Civil Law. That's why it's very important for Brazil. Well, continuing, the draft bill extends civil law protection to the digital dimension of the human person, ensuring that personality rights such as privacy, identity, reputation, and informational integrity remain safeguarded in cyberspace. And before to continue, it's important to highlight that our Constitution, our Federal Constitution of 1988, is very strong for the protection of the fundamental rights. And now in Brazil, the challenge is to protect the fundamental rights in front of the new technologies, I would say the algorithms, and we have, as we call, oppressive algorithms that can diminish the protection of fundamental rights. That's our duty, to maintain the protection of our Federal Constitution of 1988. And continue, I would say that more broadly, the draft bill seeks to adapt the foundational categories of civil law to the challenges posed by digital technologies without breaking with the conceptual coherence of the Brazilian legal tradition. That's why it's very important, because we have to make legal regulation about big techs, which brings problems as fake news, especially in the elections, and more other interferences in the private life of the citizens. That's what the draft bill number 4 seeks to protect. Because when you talk about artificial intelligence, we have to think about civil liability, especially when artificial intelligence can damage, can harm the fundamental rights of the citizens and the consumers. Well, continuing, I would say that the draft bill recognizes that cyberspace has become a central sphere of human interaction, where acts, we have contracts, and relationships acquire legal significance. And continue, I would say that the draft bill establishes guiding principles to ensure that digital behavior, whether mediated by data, algorithms, or automated systems, continues to be governed by values such as good faith, fairness, and responsibility. That's important because when we talk about artificial intelligence, we are talking to machines that are become autonomous, and we have to think how the machine interacts with citizens, and in case of harm or damages, to whom is the civil responsibility or civil liability? To whom? To the machine? To whom created the program? To the government? To whom? And the most important, the draft bill brings that it needs human supervision. When we have a risk of a harm or damage, the citizen has to have the right to ask human supervision to see that damage or to value that harm. And continue, I would say that in this sense, it represents both a continuity and a transformation. I say continuity because it preserves the anthropocentric and ethical nature of the Brazilian Civil Code. As I said before, our constitution, our federal constitution of 1988, has a great influence in the Brazilian Civil Code for the protection of fundamental rights. And I also would add that transformation, because it projects these principles into a new domain, the informational environment, where human existence increasingly unfolds. And its purpose of the draft bill is to consolidate a current civil framework for cyber governance grounded in the 1988 Federal Constitution in Brazil, which upholds human dignity, that's important, privacy, civil liability, and legal certainty as guiding principles of the legal order. And by extending these values to the digital sphere, the draft bill ensures that technological innovation remains consistent with constitutional ethics. And it's important because there is a popular proverb that the cyberspace, the digital sphere, is a land of nobody. It's a land without law. And in Brazil, we are discussing that, especially big techs, artificial intelligence, new programs, algorithms, they are welcome, but it needs an ethic, and especially in respect of fundamental rights from our constitution. Just for the audience to understand how important is fundamental rights in Brazil, because from the period of 1965 to 1985, we had a military regime. And after 1985, the civil government has returned. And 3 years after the democratic openness of Brazil, the lawmaker was very worried from the past history. And our constitution, just for you to understand, has more than 75 principles of fundamental rights, including fundamental rights for labor, for environmental issues, especially to protect for not returning this past history. That's why we see it very important. And continue, I would say that the constitutional basis of Brazilian cyber governance, the foundation of cyber governance in Brazil lies in the Constitution of 1988, which is now known by you all, which enshrines human dignity as one of the pillars of the Republic. And the human dignity is written in the Article 1, Item 3. Well, from this central value derive other principles that orient digital regulation, including inviolability of privacy. It's very important because now we have facial recognition, we have many artificial intelligence that can make a, how can I say, may challenge the fundamental rights of the citizen. For example, during the pandemic of COVID-19, the Brazilian government used the artificial intelligence to see if population was respecting the social isolation. So the companies of telephones, they had to give the signals of the mobile phones to see if population was in the streets or was at home, respecting the social isolation. But it has a big problem for privacy of the citizen. So the protection of personal data and the freedom of expression. And our Article 5 items 9, 10, and 12 are very important about this. Well, within this normative structure, the digital environment is conceived not as a lawless space, as I said before, but as an extension of the constitutional order. Cyber governance, therefore, becomes a means of realizing constitutional guarantees in the informational sphere. And also, it's important to highlight that the draft bill number 4, 2025 gives concrete effect to this purpose by incorporating digital relations into the fabric of civil law, preserving coherence between Brazil's constitutional principles and its private law tradition. The draft bill proposes to include a book 6 titled Digital Civil Law in the Brazilian Civil Code, thereby creating a comprehensive normative framework for civil relations conducted in the digital environment. The new book begins with Article 2027A, which establishes that digital civil law seeks to strengthen private autonomy, preserve human dignity, and ensure the security of persons, better say, and their property in
Sorry, sir.
cyberspace.
I'm sorry for
Yes?
cutting you off, but it's 1 minute remaining. Please wrap up your final points.
Yes. So now I'm going to my final words. I would say in my conclusions. Well, for conclusions, it's a pity that the time is very short, but perhaps in another opportunity I would say more. I would say that to conclude, Draft Bill 4 2025 represents an important stage in the evolution of Brazilian private law. It does not create a new legal subject, but rather extends traditional civil protection to the informational dimension of the human person. And for the last words, by incorporating digital rights into Brazilian civil code, the draft bill ensures that technology remains a tool at the service of humanity, not the other way around. Its guiding message is clear. Innovation must coexist with dignity, transparency, and responsibility. Well, many thanks. Here you have my address of my social media, and thank you once again.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Jelton, for your comprehensive and thought-provoking presentation. And please stay for the Q&A session. We will have a Q&A session after the speaker 3 presentation. Now we will proceed to our next speaker, Mr. Jorge Isaac Torres Manrique from the Pre-Eminentia Justicia Interdisciplinary School of Fundamental Rights, Peru. He will present on sustainability and the 2030 Agenda, interdisciplinary analysis from the perspective of fundamental rights. And before we begin, please allow me to briefly introduce him. Mr. Jorge Isaac Torres Manrique is a lawyer from the Catholic University of Santa Maria, Peru, holding doctorates in law and administration from the Federico Villarreal National University. He currently serves as president of the Preeminencia Justicia Interdisciplinary School of Fundamental Rights and is recognized internationally as a legal consultant. Mr. Jorge has authored and edited over 160 books and treatises, published across 18 countries with articles featured in 78 universities and academic collaborations spanning 12 countries. He also serves as co-ed director of the Annotated Penal Codes of Ecuador and Colombia. Mr. Jorge, you may now proceed with your presentation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Doctor. I have my PPT. Please share. Thanks. In this opportunity, we talk about the sustainability and the 2030 agenda interdisciplinarity analysis from the perspective of the fundamental rights. Very honored and grateful to the prestigious University Borobudur and the Dr. the Jubari. In this opportunity, the next, please. In this opportunity, we talk about the different points. For example, the ICLAC's priorities for the supporting the implementation and follow-up for the 2030 agenda for sustainable development in Latin American and Caribbean countries. Then, quintessence of the 2030 agenda on the sustainable development analysis of the progress made on the 2030 agenda for the sustainable development 8 years later and 7 years before D-Day and H-hour. Then unusual issues not considered in the 23rd agenda, then a look from the perspective of fundamental rights, and then conclusions, and finally suggestions. Next, please. Slow global economic growth, social inequalities, and environmental degradation, they are the characteristics of our current reality present. Unprecedented challenge for the international community. Indeed, we are facing an epochal change. The opinion of the current with the same patterns and production energy and consumption are no longer viable, making it necessary to transform, to dominate, develop paradigms into that leads to us down a path of sustainability inclusive develop with a long-term vision. This change of era is necessary in the case of the Latin American and the Caribbean, which is not the priorities region in the world, but is the most inequality. Faced with these challenges, the 193 member states of the United Nations, together with a large number of actors from civil society, academia, and the private sector engagement in an open, democratic, and participatory negotiation process that results to proclamation of the 2030 agenda to sustainably develop with the sustainable development goals in September 2015. Next, please. The 2030 agenda for sustainable development, which includes 70 goals and 169 targets, presents an ambitious vision of the sustainable development and integrates its economic, social, and environmental dimensions. The new agenda is expression of the desires, aspirations, and priorities of the international community for the next 15 years. It's a universal community to make the both developed countries within the framework for a strengthened global partnership, which takes into account of the means of limitation or the bring about change in prevention of disasters caused by extreme natural events as well as climatic change and adaptation. During that session, Resolution 700, we also adopted establishes for forum for Latin American and Caribbean countries on sustainability development and regional mechanism to follow review for the implementation of the 2030 agenda for sustainable development include the goals and their targets as well as its means implementation for its EVA action agenda. Next, please. Then we have about the CLAC's priorities for supporting of the implementation or the monitoring of the 2030 agenda for sustainability development on Latin American change countries. Then we have first a stringent regional institutional architecture, then enhance analysis of the means of implementation of 2030 agendas of the regional level, support of the integration of the SDGs into national development plans, budgets, promote to the integration of the measure process necessary for the production and SDG indicators for national and regional statistics, develop strategies as well as the consolidation and national system and the leading role to the national statistics offices. Next, please. Then we have about the essence of the 2030 agenda for the sustainable development. The 2030 agenda for sustainable development adopted in September 2015 by the United Nations General Assembly said that a transformative vision of the economic, social, and environmental sustainability of the 103 member states that signal and will be reference-wide for the institution work at the pursuit of the vision over for the next years. The new Roma presents a historic opportunity of the Latin American and Caribbean as includes the high priority of the region, such as eradication of extreme poverty, a reduction of inequality in all dimensions, inclusive economic growth with decent work for all sustainable cities, and climate change, among others. The 2030 agenda is a civilizational agenda that places human dignity and equality its a core. Being ambitious and visionary requires the participation for all sectors of society on the state for its implementation. Therefore, the representatives of governments, civil society, academia, and the private sector are invited to take awareness of ambitional agenda excuses and as a tool for creating inclusive and just society to the savor of the people today and future generations. Certainly, we will refer to the 70 goals later when analysis progress on them. And please, next. In this sense, we have now the analysis of the progress made to the 2030 agenda of the sustainable development 8 years later, on 7 years before D-Day and H-hour. In this sense, we have a quadrennial progress report on regional progress and challenge in the 2030 agenda for a sustainable development in Latin America, Caribbean. It is a difficult to reconcile in the international political economic of 2019 of the agenda of issues and negotiation to that concern an international community in 2015. Over the past
4 years international relations have undergone such as dramatic such that the school be said we are living in an entirely new world. There has been qualitative change, dynamics and political, economical, the change system stems for a long-term embraces, not is noted in CLAC 2016. It is estimated to approximately 71 million people will fall back to extreme poverty 2020, which will be first increase global poverty since 1990. Loss of income, limited social protection, and raises prices could put even people who were previously safe at risks, poverty and hunger. And poverty and resulting for the crisis mean that approximately 1.6 billion are already vulnerable workers, and the informal economic may be significant effect, estimated 60% decline in coming during the first month of the crisis. Then more than 1 billion slum dwellers worldwide are the serious risks from the effects of the COVID-19, such as lack of adequate hosts are running or not waste management system, overcome public transport, are limited access to official health facilities. Then women and children are also among those most affected by the consequence of the pandemic. The disruption of certain hand the vaccination services, as well as limited access to the nutrition and food service, could lead to hundreds and thousands of additional deaths among children, over tens of thousands additional materials. The 2020 reports of the domestic violence against women and children have skyrocketed in many countries. Then school closures have affected 90% of students worldwide and causes more than 3.71 million children to miss school, which is dependent with the lack access on the computers and the internet at home. Remote learning is out reach for many around 17 countries, reported moderate to severe disruptions of the complete suspension of the childhood immunization service during March and April 2020. Finally, as more families fall into extreme poverty, children in poor and disadvantaged communities are much greater risks of becoming involved of children or child labor, child marriage, and child trafficking. In fact, global progress reduce child labor is likely to reserve to the first time in 20 years. Now we have the next, please, the Sustainable Goals report qualitative results. And these goals require immense political and ambitious action by all parties involved. However, as member states acknowledged for SGD, the SGD summit last September, global efforts to date have been insufficient to achieve the change we need. Jeopardizes the agenda promises to our current future generations due to COVID-19 and the planet health, economic, and social crisis threatens lives and livelihoods, making and ever more difficult to achieve two goals. By early Jan, the breakthrough have exceeded 400 million 1,000 and continues to rise, affecting to almost every country. Health systems and many countries have been the version collapses. The livelihoods in how we work face have been severely affected. In more than 1.6 billion students are out of school, and tens of millions of people are bearing pushings back into extreme poverty and hunger, wiping out the modest progress in the recent years. The next, please. Continue con goal 1. The name in end poverty in all its forms everywhere. The results about this goal, number one is consequences of COVID-19. COVID-19 causes the first increases on the global poverty in decades. 23.6 trillion in direct economic losses. COVID changed the outlook for the global goal of the ending extreme poverty. Working poverty is expected to increase of the significant result of the pandemic. Social protection coverage varies greatly for the region to region, leaving many exposed during the concurrent crisis. Disasters disproportionality affect the least developed countries. The 17 goals have the same results. Please, in goal 17, please. Next, goal 17. In goal 17, strengthening to means implementation than in revitalization to global partnership for sustainable development. In this case, we have the same people.
So sorry for interrupting, sir. So
For
it's
the time.
please wrap up
Okay.
your final plans. Yeah.
Okay. In this case, the final points to work, talk about this analysis is unusual, just not considered in the 2030 agenda, meaning pollution, smart cities, transfer the environmental matters to the judicial courts, newer environmental principles, artificial intelligence, codification, governance, improve the right to the clean and healthy environment, inclusion to additional rights, traditional trading and the awareness raising, environmental displaced persons, environmental justice, interdisciplinarity, pollution wastes, deforestation of Amazon, artisanal mining in marine conservation. Then I look from the perspective of the fundamental rights, the ambiguous or the inert action of the 2030 agenda clearly violate the fundamental rights of populations, the peace or tranquility of the life, for the free development of the personality, the free development to the healthy and the safe environmental, to the well-being of the security of future generations, among others. In this sense, we have the conclusions, the points of the 2030 agenda have not been correctly selected. No priority situational diagnosis was carrying out the terminal then not was any order a priority establishes can be unfair to there's a general lack of academic and professional expertise, specialization and implementation, as well as lack of knowledge and commented to relevant issues to the parts of the key actors, the results of the progress made on the sustainable development, the goals 2030 agenda are a resounding failure. The implementation of the 2030 agenda will be very difficult to achieve by 2030, if not impossible. It's inacceptable that the analysis of the 17 points of the agenda should be analysis as finally a good justification for the perspective, the serious effects of the coronavirus. We are more than half there 2058 years of the already passes, and there has been no significant progress. The members of the 20 years agents have no choice but work intensively and with commitment, because in 2030 they will not be able to justify themselves again with the familiar excuse of the COVID-19. Clear the evaluation as the disagreement results, objective by objective, is this growing. In addition to the lack of political will among the member countries of the 2030 agenda, it's very painful to conclude that widening its competence is not obligates of comments, but invites. Consequently, it becomes impossible to apply to principle pacta sunt servanda, that is enforced, that has agreed to paces, hence the resolve failure to the 20-year agenda. Suggestion finally, a great commitment and political will to establish a true appropriate points to 23 agents, great commitment political to establish mandatory compliance with 23 agents, training, awareness, resilience to our Agenda 2030 shareholders in use and public management and fundamental rights, greater involvement and diplomacy, and contribute to a sustainable development Agenda 2030. Thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Jorge. Maybe we can go to the question and answer for the speakers 1 and 2. To share your questions via the chat box or raise your virtual hand to speak, kindly mention your name and the speaker you're addressing. Maybe we can go first with the one, Dwi Ariel,
Dwi Ari is
for
the
raising your hand. Yes, maybe you want
Okay.
to ask your question.
Thank you, Miss Joy. I am very much thank you to Professor Delton and Dr. Jorge. I have both for you questions. For Professor Dalton first, I am really interested with your topic, but then I would like to discuss about migrant workers, because, for example, in Indonesia we are trying to we are trying to complete our migrant workers with some application, and this application will be embedded with the AI, which will protect them from any danger, from any threat in other countries. If, for example, your country will receive migrant workers, and then they have this kind of application with them in their mobile phones, how will this act or the law that you have just present will receive this? I mean, will they just counter it, and then will they just block it, or they will have a discussion about it with Indonesia and then they will allow it? That's my question for Professor Delton. And then also for Dr. Jorge. This is also, I am interested with the migrant workers. I really don't know in your country about migrant workers management in your country, but based on the your presentation, I would like to know how if you have a migrant workers that is working, for example, in other countries that is need protection or need something that has to be communicated with the government in your country. Thank you.
Well, I think your question, first of all, thank you very much for your question. And I think about new technologies and the programs, everything is very new, especially in Brazil. And of course, we have any specific law which protects the property of authorship. It's very important. So first, of course, it can be discussed, and it will be analyzed according to Brazilian laws of property.
Okay.
And see the possibility, because, for example, if a program has already a license, a patent, of course, you have to respect the patent and not to violate. So I think these considerations has to be made between the parts, the interested parts, and try to choose the best way. I would say, just profiting your question, that about, for example, authorship from artificial intelligence, there is in the Brazilian law, because the Brazilian law protects the human creation and not the creation of the machine, of the artificial intelligence. There is nothing written about. So for the texts, academic texts, for programs, you have to identify the authorship, because when the machine gives you a product, you cannot say where the machine researched to deliver you this product, and if this product has a protection or not.
Okay.
That's the big problem.
Yes.
And of course, the tribunals, the high courts, we have many cases, especially about fake news, interference in the elections. We have a great number of discussions that we need a law. That's why the draft bill is in the Congress, trying to make a legal regulation, because there is nothing written. So the tribunals, the judge, of course, the judge cannot refuse to judge, saying that, oh, well, there is no law, I have no obligation to make a decision. No, the judge must deliver a decision, even if it doesn't exist in the law. Well, it's new. We have to talk. And I think this is the importance of this Congress, because it's the locus, the universities, to talk about and find ways and suggest to the lawmaker. Thank you.
So at present, Brazil still hasn't have any law about this, isn't it?
No.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Professor. Okay, thank you, Professor.
You're welcome.
Mr. Jorge,
I cannot hear your voice.
Still mute.
Yes.
Mr. Jorge, maybe you need to unmute yourself first.
It's mute.
Now?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, clear. Thank you.
Okay.
Dr.
About the progress of the goals of the 2030 agenda, I can say it's very few, and most worryingly in sectors that are not most urgent in terms of attention. The trouble lies in what I have pointed out in the conclusions. I am referring to the fact that the initial mandatory situational diagnostics study to determine the agenda items for 2030 has not been carried out. Therefore, the 2030 agenda was did on arrival. I have demonstrated objectively and thoroughly that the UN has done everything wrong in the 2030 agenda items. The degree of irresponsibility is extremely worrying. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you so much for the discussion. It was very insightful. So now I think we need to check on the chat box, but I see that Mr. Dalton already having a discussion in the chat box. Is Mr. Dalton, maybe you want to answer more comprehensively on verbally, or maybe you want to keep discussing on the chat box?
Well, I think I'm able to answer in the chat box. And I had some questions that I already tried to answer. Very good questions, difficult questions to answer, but I'm doing my best.
So you're okay with answering in the chat box?
Yes.
All right. Maybe we can go to the Mr. Jorge. There's a question in here.
Okay,
There are questions. Yeah, there are two questions from the committee. In the chat box, I already typed it down. First, although achieving the 2030 agenda may be challenging, what meaningful progress or positive outcomes can still be expected in the coming years, and also in what sectors? And second, which sectors or goals have demonstrated the least progress compared to others, and how do differences in national policies or resources explain this imbalance? You may.
The first question, I answered that. The second question, I think that it's truly regrettable then that practically no sector has shown any progress. Furthermore, not only was there no political will to fulfill to commitments made in the 2030 agenda, but the agenda items are not binding in nature. On other hand, there were not state police aimed at protecting natural resources. The word use of the 2030 agenda has served only to give to appearance that something urgent was going to be done in favor of sustainability. But the most painful thing is that they propose it without having the cited idea of what needed be done. They should have gotten involved in something they don't know anything about. They should have strong expert advice. The most serious thing is what they will be forced to say in 2030. In other words, they will have made no progress and achieved no objectives. it would be an absolute failure. Thank you very much.
For the discussion. Thank you for the answer. So after these two came up, these speakers that I already conclude for the presentation when Dalton Ribeiro from Brazil. So the conclusion is like the bill builds a civil law foundation for circular governance that preserve human dignity and constitutional values while ensuring that technological innovation develop ethically, responsibly, and transparently in Brazil. Correct?
Yes, and I think about the cyber governance or digital governance, we have to discuss because, as I said before, everything is still very new, especially for the developing countries as Brazil and other countries, because when I say European Union, they are more developed of the legal regulation of artificial intelligence and about the big techs, the great companies that we don't have laws to establish that internet is not a land of nobody or a land of lawless. The countries have laws, and the big techs or the artificial intelligence has to respect each country with its constitution, with its laws, civil laws, because it's inherent for us humans. So it defends the dignity of us humans and also the fundamental rights. I think what I would say, I would like to highlight as the most important. Of course, this topic, I would speak for 1 hour or 2 hours, but of course, in our next Congress of MIC, we are continue to talk about. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Yeah, thank you so much. And also for Mr. Jorge Insight, so the conclusion is like the 2030 agenda has largely failed due to very poor planning, like commitment and non-binding obligation. And without the stronger political, it will without like stronger political will and like accountability, its goals will remain unfulfilled by 2030, which is it's very saddening. Okay, so it's already 10:46 in Indonesia right now, and thank you for all the speakers and participants for such engaging and interesting sessions. And before we move to the parallel session, please take a moment to yeah, we will have a break for 10 minutes from now. So maybe like in 10:56, we will come back to the main session.
It's me, Mr. Imanuddin. Looking you very seriously. Now, break 10 minutes, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Break 10 minutes, okay?
Hey, coffee. Drink coffee.
Yeah. Time of coffee.
Good morning to all.
So,
Yes, it's a very great day, sir. Can you please allow me to share my presentation? I was logging from both my system and mobile for the comforts.
we are still on a break, sir. Later, the moderator will allow you.
Sure. Thank you. I'll be waiting.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the main session. We will have two speakers in the main session today. So now we will proceed to our speaker. To the next speaker, we have Associate Professor Dr. Kendati Sai Chandu from the Siddharth Institute of Engineering and Technology, India. Dr. Chandu will share his insights on mindful leadership, psychological dimensions of governance for global good. Before we begin, please allow me to briefly introduce him. Dr. Sai Chandu holds an MBA and a PhD in management and currently serves as associate professor and entrepreneurship development cell coordinator at Siddharth Institute of Engineering and Technology. He has received several distinctions, including the Best Young Faculty Award in 2019 and recognition in the World Book of Records for organizing an international conference. Dr. Chandu also holds a patent and multiple international publications with recent book chapters published by Springer and Taylor and Francis. His research focuses on management education, leadership development, and entrepreneurial innovation. Dr. Chandu, the stage is yours.
Namaste to one and all. This is Dr. Sai Chandu from India. I request coordinators, will you please access my two? Yes, thank you. Thank you a lot. Am I audible?
Yes, you are loud and clear.
I think I was audible. And I also request you to allow me to share. I was browsing from both my systems. So please allow me to share my PPT.
Yes, we are coordinating with the IT team right now.
Sure. Just a moment. I'll be connecting that. So will you please allow me on, I have two names I have been registered. Can you also allow me in the next one for sharing the PPT? The host is not allowing. I was logging from the two accounts. Will you please allow me to share? Just now I was sending the request. My second account, that is my PC.
Yes, we already give you the permission. Can't you?
No, I didn't get that sharing option. Someone else is sharing. Already someone else is sharing. That message
Professor
was
Chandu
displayed.
has two ID, so only one ID has sharing.
One ID. Okay.
Yes.
Just a moment then. Just a moment.
We can share from here. Is it okay if we can help you?
Yes, you can also share it. No issues. I already sent you my PPT. You can also share it. No issues. This is a great help for me. Yeah. So let me start once again. This is Dr. Khandati Sai Chandu from India. Namaste to one and all, to my brothers and sisters of the globe. Today I was very immense pressured to be invited for multidisciplinary international conference MIC for 2K25, and I'm also very happy to be part of this great section. And I like to thank all the coordinators and the people who given me this great opportunity to express my views. So today's my topic is mindful leadership, psychological dimensions of governance of global good. So I was very pleased to start this topic because as we all know that I'm from India and I'm very pleased to be born in the countries like India because I was starting this point with that, especially like our Indonesia and India are very close relative friendly zone. So as I want to go to the deep roots of India, can you please send me to the second slide, introduction slide? Yeah, thank you. So here, what I want to start is the first leadership things. In as I'm a Hindu, we have a sacred book called Bhagavad Gita. So I want to start it from there because that is the first leadership book which was taught by Krishna to Arjuna in the time of battle. So why I was addressing and referring that point here is. So all type of leadership, the way of the king, the way of manager was being taught very excellently in the rooted cultures of my India. So from there, I want to start that to give a clear guidance to the world to this conference that the rich and heritage of India as well as the key components of Indian heritage leadership skills. So that is the reason why, if you take global levels, majority of CEOs we produce majority of CEOs, majority of IT people, majority of managers, because these things are cultivated. So I want to share that secrets of book in the form of mindful leadership, a psychological lens on governance today. So see, coming to this governance today goes beyond the administration. So now if you take this AI world, everything was getting updated to the ultimate things. See, if you see the clock, so all these years from the Stone Age to till today, every evolution's made to make this generation. Why I was confidently telling for this generation is now every research is completed. Almost we the human reached endpoints of the world, but only one missing thing is the leadership, the very good leadership, because only a good leadership and governance will create a great environment for the people to live. So that is a point I want to mention in the second. And the next point, mindful leadership comes from self-awareness, empathy, focus on creating empathical decisions. See, always. So, for example, if you take nearby the things when the COVID happens, when the registration started, there is so much of layoffs, and people were stifled, terrified, feared, even to have a normal lives. So in that conditions, we have to take empathy decisions, but still some of the companies, still few people are looking for their own profits and they want to hunting back all the jobs. So here we can able to create it as an empathical decision makings where it is not only useful for the employees but also it will give returns in a long term for the companies. See, a normal leadership without a governance leadership, the decisions making will give shorter benefits. It will not longer for a longer times. But if you take beyond the psychological levels, beyond the leadership, beyond the governance, if you take the administration, then it will create a very great environment. And that is the last point I was also want to share with intelligence psychology insights. The governance leads to human centric. See, in this world, we should have a human centric, not profit centric, because all this world we are created by humans only for the betterment of the humans, not the betterment of any profits or on lifeless things. Can you please share me the second slide? Next slide. Oh, thank you. So here I want to give very clear key points, key findings about this governance is to analysis reveals mindful emotions, intelligence, significance, enhancing leadership, effective governance, quality. See here, so if we are comparing the world, if you take the company like a Tata, and if you compare with other companies, the employees are creating wonders in Tata company. Why it is not usually happening at other companies? Why the fruitful results are not coming up to the mark? That means the analysis is not up to the mark. See, we create missions, we create artificial intelligence, but we cannot create human being. We cannot create their wellness, well-beingness. So that is the responsibility. That is a key responsibility where we can generate the things. And the leader who participate in self-awareness, empathy, and reflection thinking of democratic high levels of empathy, contact, and transformation of team trust. This is very much lagging in this world, but this is very much needed. I want to give you a very small example. So, for example, there is a team of 5 people who fallen in a well. If 5 people individually trying to get out of the well, it is very highly difficult. If they start helping one another, climbing one another, and the only one person reaches out of the well, if he is trying to grab other person hands, and the third person will come up. If a third person again hanging down into the well, fourth and fifth people also can climb as a ladder. So that is what a team trust should be having. But that for that we need to create an environment, a team building, the activities to the employees where we can create the great system of understanding of employees and the emotional things of the employees. Usually we have to say that every company is a family. If you take it very seriously, and usually to our personal life and a professional life, we spend half of our life in a professional life. So being very unsecured in that professional life will create very life damage and emotional damage and everything. So everybody try to understand in other person's views. There is a very good proverb I like to note on this stage. So that is proverb is step into other shoes. So if you have an issue, if you want to give any decisions, if you want to think, if you want to give any feedbacks, first you have to think about in other shoes also. Not only our views, not only our profits, it also should think about it. Then you may be thinking that why should we think about why should we lose our profit? Because if you go for unethical practices or else unemotional decision making, it may get you profits at very shorter periods, but in a longer periods, the companies will get expires. Take, for example, Nokia, world leading company. What wrong they have done? The last statement the CEO told is, we done everything is right, but somewhere else it made wrong. So what somewhere else? What they missed? Such a $1 million company, what they miss? They miss only one thing, that is emotional, psychological governance. Can you please go to the next slide? So here now few more findings. So here in the second point, I usually trust this point that the finding encode that emotion emotional stability. So you should take the leader. The leader has to get that emotional strength that he never ever should take a decision under any other emotions. He should be very plain. So in this note, I will address Gautama Buddha. So Gautama Buddha said one of the beautiful phrase that time will never wait for anyone, and also you cannot change the time. So we are not the persons who has to change the time. Time is going in its own parameters, in its own diameters. So we can only sustain for a moment. So live in the moment, take the decisions for the longer times, future generations, because all our generations, see, for example, today, the pollution, whatever it is made by our forefathers. Now we are suffering it. And what we going to give to our grandchildren, that's I want to address in the last point. The mindful practices contribute stress reduction and the leadership capacities, fair balancing and balanced decisions where it will get always not only profits, but also goodwill, but also trust, but also good environments. Why not? You can tell any of the things. That is what Krishna told Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita. And can you go to the next slide, please? Next slide. Yes. Let me conclude. Let me come to the conclusion part. So some of the highlights, as I said, that the study empathy, mindfulness, psychological interest of emotional moderate governance and effective governments will be achieved solitary through law, politics, through emotional intelligence, well aware of ethical leadership. So in policies itself, you have to create all the policies itself along with this. So only if you observe that when a company was changing its policies, when its balance sheet changes, it should not happen. The employee policies should never be attached to the profits or losses of the company. It should have its own ethics. It should have its own policies. It should have its own governance system, which not only help the owners, the board of directors, the CEOs, the top management, it has to be very good for all the stakeholders of the company. So maybe they are directly related or indirectly related. It should be there. And next one is the entire psychological principles such as empathy, self-awareness, and congregation balance, leadership, and trust, public notice, everything. This all you need to take concludes. And coming to my core conclusion, so mindful leadership represents the shift of transformation authority to transforming and influencing with the awareness. So what happens if you convert this type of leadership for a longer benefits? What will happen? So if you go for the shorter benefits, you always has to go in a threatened way. So it will not always the employee wants to escape from the place, go to the new company, want to leave the boss. So if you convert this style of the system, the employee feels it's a safer place. He want to retain for a longer time so that he don't have other diversions to think. So that he will get more profits, more ideas, more inputs into the company. That means in the future profits of the company in a very, very, very great high. So everybody has to keep it in mind while making these policies itself that their policies are aligning with the empathical decisions or not, are only concentrating on profit sake, then the company will not stay for the longer times. Even it's a multi-million company, it's a world-leading company, everything. If a thing has a starting point, it will also have an end point. Please, my dear friends and colleagues and my dear faculties, please remember and please share that message that the empirical decision is a key component of the survival of the humankind. And when the leadership begins aware of governance transform into the path, collaboratory glow and global goodness. So, and the last, I should conclude with. So as I'm not only addressing a Bhagavad Gita, even you take Bible, even you take Quran, whatever it is, everything as the testimonials for the humankind, how to create a good leadership. So everything is the same thing. All the gods are the same thing. So namaste to one and all for giving a great opportunity and Jai Hind. And thank you for it. If you have any queries regarding to these things, I was very happy to answer you all, so that I can go forward for the questionnaire sections. If you have any questionnaires, please ask me out, or else you can give me on chat. I can answer it.
Question, please.
Actually, the question and answer, we will have it after the fifth speaker presentation. So, Mr. Kanadi Sanchandu, please stay for.
Sure. I will be saying until you say it.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Chandu, for your thought-provoking insights. Now we will proceed to our final speaker in this mid-session. Our fifth speaker is Associate Professor Dr. Haji Kemas Herman, SHMH MSI CLA from Borobudur University, Indonesia. He will present on criminal provisions in tax regulation harmonization. Before we begin, please allow me to briefly introduce him. Dr. Thomas Herman holds a bachelor's degree in law from STHI Jakarta, a master's degree in law from Pancasila University and in science from Muhammadiyah Jakarta University, and a doctorate in law from Borobudur University. He has been an academic since 2002, currently serving as a permanent lecturer at the doctoral program in law at Borobudur University, while also being an active legal practitioner since 2007. Dr. Herman serves as Secretary of the Supervisory Commission of the Indonesian Advocates Association or PRADI, and holds multiple professional certifications, including as accredited mediator, Supreme Court of Indonesia, certified legal auditor, tax and customs legal consultant, and mining law consultant. He is also actively involved as a lecturer, assessor, and trainer in various legal and professional certification programs. Dr. Herman, the floor is yours.
Thanks ya, Miss Joy. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I would like to express my gratitude for the opportunity given. I am Mas Herman, a lecturer at Borobudur University, and on this occasion, I will be presenting a topic entitled Criminal Profession in Tech Regulation Harmonization. Criminal Profession in Tech Regulation Harmonization. The Indonesian taxation system faces the challenge of complexity between the KUP law, income tax law, and PIT law, which often overlap, causing legal uncertainty and differences in the interpretation in the application of criminal sanction. In addition, tax law enforcement is often considered disproportionate as administrative violations are criminalized, thereby shifting the principle of justice and legal benefit. Therefore, harmonization of criminal profession is necessary to create an effective and fair taxation system that encourages voluntary and compliance by taxpayers. The 2021 HAPP law is form of regulatory reform to ensure that the tax law system is in line with the value of legal certainty and fiscal equity. Harmonization is form of policy coherence so that tax laws not only pursue revenue but also public trust in the states. Next slide. Relevancy. Transforming governance through interdisciplinary synergy for global welfare. The harmonization of criminal tax profession is in line with the theme of transforming governance through interdisciplinary synergy for global welfare, as it reflects this transformation of tax governance toward greater fairness and transparency through the synergy of law, economic and public policy with a view to seeking global justice and welfare. The urgency of harmonizing tax criminal profession. Harmonization of tax penalty is necessary in order to avoid criminalizing taxpayer for administrative errors such as late reporting, enforce the principle of ultimum remedium, whereby criminal sanctions are only used as last resort. Increase public trust in the tax authorities through transparent law enforcement mechanism. Encourage voluntary compliance by fostering legal awareness, not legal fear. In the theory of ultimum remedium, criminal law in the fiscal context shall function as a tool for moral correction of society, not a tool of state repression. Thus, harmonization of criminal tax sanction is an effort to place tax law within the framework of fiscal humanity. Next slide. Legal basis. 1945 Constitution, Article 23A, taxes and other levies must be based on law. 1945 Constitution, Article 28D, Paragraph 1, the right to recognition, security, protection, and legal certainty and equal treatment before the law. Law number 28 of 2007 or KUP, Criminal and Administrative Sanction for Tax Violation. Law number 7 of 2021 or HPP, Tax System Reform through Regulatory Harmonization. Next slide. Analysis of criminal provision in the 2021 HPP law aspect. Before harmonization or all KUP law, after harmonization or HPP law 2021. Focus. Before harmonization or all KUP law, enforcement of tax violation. After harmonization or HPP law 2021, prevention of compliance improvement. Principle. Before harmonization or all KUP law, repressive and administrative. After harmonization or HPP law 2021, educational, proportional, ultimum remedium.
Sir? Sir, please unmute your device. Sir Keman Herman, please unmute your device. Yeah, we cannot hear you.
Okay. Analysis of criminal provision in the 2021 HPP law. Aspect. Before harmonization or all KUP law, after harmonization or HPP law 2021. Focus. Before harmonization or all KUP law, enforcement of tax violation. After harmonization or HPP law 2021, prevention of compliance improvement. Principle. Before harmonization or all KUP law, repressive and administrative. After harmonization or HPP law 2021, educational, proportional, ultimum remedium. Mechanism. Before harmonization or all KUP law, formal examination and investigation. After harmonization HPP law 2021, compliance risk management and self-assessment. Objective. Before harmonization or all KUP law, punishing offenders. After harmonization or HPP law 2021, educating and promoting awareness of fiscal law. Implementation issue in the field. The implementation of criminal tax provision still faces several structural and normative obstacles, including disharmony between institutions or DGP, Attorney General Office, police that have different investigation procedures. Low tax law literacy among law enforcement officials, leading to over criminalization. The absence of national fiscal medicine, agency, resulting in minor cases immediately leading to criminal charges. Potential abuse of authority by tax investigator in determining criminal intent or mens rea. Conclusion. Harmonizing criminal tax provision strengthen fair and transparent fiscal governance. Criminal provision should remain a last resort used only when administrative mechanism fail. Implementing regulations are needed to clearly distinguish administrative error from criminal offenses. The government needs to strengthen interagency coordination and develop a national tax education system. An independent tax dispute resolution council need to be established to provide legal protection for taxpayers. Tax law must not only collect revenue, but will justice. Then concludes the material I can present. I apologize for any shortcoming, and now I return to floor to the moderator. Thank you. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Herman, for your excellent presentation. We will now have a Q&A session for speakers 4 and 5. Kindly post your question in the chat and the moderator will read them aloud during the discussion. But I saw someone have raising his hand. Someone raising his hands. Yes. Mr. Dwi Ari, you may ask
Yes.
your question.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Chandu and Dr. Herman, for your insightful presentation. I have a question for both of you. The first for Dr. Chandu. Are you there, Dr. Chandu?
I think he is professor.
Okay, let me just ask to Dr. Herman first. We know that there are a lot of improper socialization of laws in our countries. And then in this case, taxes is also one of the biggest problem that is not being socialized to our community or to our citizen. I would like to know from your perspective and from your presentation, how would the government or the act or the undang-undang treating unfamiliar or even completely blank with law of citizen who accidentally violate tax law in this case. Thank you. And I will give the question to Dr. Chandu when he is in press. Thank you.
It's my pleasure to answer that.
Dr. Chandu, are you there?
I'm here itself.
Okay. For you, the question is about mindful leadership.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, we know that, as you said, leader is also human.
Yeah.
And then we know that I don't know how you would judge this, but human also kind, but human also not kind, human also even worse than not kind. What should we do when we face unlawful, dishonest superior who is, I'm sorry to say, ask for inhuman overload respects and then asking for bribes and everything that it's really the opposite of what in your presentation. Thank you. That's the question.
Yes, I like to answer it in with an example. See, usually if we talk about democracy, so whatever the majority people says that will be the true, but that will be the acceptancy. But one thing we have to remember that the acceptancy need not to be the justification. So, but the thing is, yes, there is a lot of corruptions and all the things. Who are empathizing that? The professionals, the authorities doesn't started that. The people who started that giving the gifts, they started receiving it, they addicted to it, so that the responsibility again starts from our end. So that we should come out of our timelines. Just an example that all the people who are here are the changes of tomorrow's world. Why I was telling this line is, see, if you take all in your colleges and universities and all the people are here, So how many of people are coming and giving and working on these international conferences like that? That means working and ethical progress in your professions. Nobody's doing. So most of the people bribing somebody and getting certifications, we should justify our own certificates, our own resume. Yes, this is my asset. This is the thing I have created. This is the patent I worked it. This is how I failed. You should enjoy the failure. That is the key point. That's the key source of changing the world. The world is already merely spoiled, but it is our responsibility to give our grandchildren to restart it. So what I suggest is we have to go to our history. Everybody's we have to go back to our histories. Like I'm a Hindu, I should go for refer Bhagavad Gita. So a Muslim, you have to go and refer a Bhagavad Gita. Sorry, like Quran. So everything tells the only one thing: how a perfect human life should be led. So we have to re-include that into our habits. That is the only suggestion I can give to the world. That is the only way to the world that to change for the next generations. Right now, there is a loss, but there are also laws also having some loopholes. So, but what we need to do is we have to clear this cancer from the root cause. That is our own mindsets. That is what I think, Professor. Up to my knowledge concerns.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. So it's still a long way to go, isn't it?
Yeah. Very long way. But we are the person who are stepping of the first foot. That is what I believe.
Do you have any shortcut for this? I mean, to fix this imbalance and in improper moral in this kind of governments or in
So
this kind of companies.
So usually in our India, we have a slogan we have in Hindi, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. So that means that there are two great people who works for the nation. One is farmer and second one is soldier. But in my refers, so that is a wrong statement. Every person, every profession is a key for the world, key for our country, key for the humankind. We have to be the governance. We have to get that encrypted into our things so that we can improve our surroundings. That's the only thing we can going to do. Even if you go to the higher positions, if you go become a director, CEO, whatever, we have to cultivate that thing every place. Usually, if I go to the class every week, at least 10 minutes, I will tell to the students that what is ethics? Why should you follow ethics when none of the world is following ethics? What is the benefit you're going to get it? What is the satisfaction you're going to get it? That is what I was teaching as a teacher. So, to my students, that is how I was creating the future things. We cannot change anything over a night because over a night, nothing got spoiled. So it's taken evolution of ages to get to this stage. So again, we have to take some more stages to get back to our golden ages, where the humans are living very happily. That is what I mean, Professor.
Okay, Doctor. Thank you very much.
Question. And there's one person that is raising her hands. Tuti Trihastuti. Yes, do you want to ask questions for our professors?
Yes, thank you, Miss Joy. My question to Mr. Herman. I concern with the principle of ultimum remedium that he proposed as the harmonization tax regulatory. So my question is, Herman, if the principle of ultimum remedium is implemented consistently in tax law enforcement, then what methods can be considered effective and capable of creating a deterrent effects for taxpayers who acts in bad faith, not good faith, and intentionally avoid paying taxes? And my second question is this principle generally apply at the international level, or any other countries have already adopted these principles? Thank you.
University, but unfortunately, Mr. Herman, Dr. Herman is already left because he has
Ah,
a very
okay.
urgent matter to
Okay, maybe I
So
will answer. Maybe I'll answer in other
let's keep
occasion.
it in touch and we
Yeah.
will ask him
Okay.
for this
Okay.
question.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. So
Okay.
is
Thanks.
there any
I understand.
anyone
Yeah.
that okay, thank you.
Yeah. I understand. Thank you.
So is there still anyone that want to ask Dr. Chandu while he is still in here? Maybe anyone wants to raise
In the chat box, Miss.
yes?
The question is in the chat box.
Okay. But this is the question for Dr. Herman, but Dr. Herman is already left, so unfortunately we cannot ask him right now. So there are questions for Dr. Chandu in here. Is the question from Erwan Bagja Erwan already been answered by Professor Chandu? No?
Yes, I see.
Maybe Chandu, I will read some of the questions that you were not answered yet. Question here from Erwan Bagja Erawan in the chat box. May I ask a question for Mr. Chandu? How can a framework for assessing psychological safety in governmental teams be empirically validated as a leading indicator of policy responsiveness and citizen engagement in diverse socio-political contexts? And from Mukhtaram Ahmad, there are two questions in here. You can check in the chat box. There is an opinion that a leader is someone who has spiritual enlightenment, not only has merely knowledge. Do you agree with it or not? Second, how to conduct a talentful management to the preparation of future leaders in India? Are there any assessment center for the selection of their leadership? You may answer, Dr. Chandu.
So the question is, it is very interesting that in criminal law, can you please repeat me the question? I just got some audio issues.
Okay, there are three questions. The first question is, how can a framework for assessing psychological safety in governmental teams be empirically validated as a leading indicator of policy responsiveness and citizen engagement in diverse socio-political contexts?
So I can refer it in a very easy way. So if you take the constitution policies, that means the empirical policies of any root causes. From there we need to frame it. For example, if you take any employee policies, which are nothing but the children's of BOS meeting, BOD meeting, board of directors meetings. It should not be there. There should be many techniques in our HR for lasting more than 100 years, like brainstorming, and there are many techniques. You have to get that information and requirements in the first place. Based on that only we need to frame it. Otherwise, we cannot have any of the processes will be made within the time. It is a very highly difficult thing for any normal human being to have an access or to create an environment within such an elaborated way. So that will be, that is what I want to tell up to my reference sakes. Beyond up to my knowledge sake, we can tell that.
Okay, is it answering your question, Mr. Erwan Bagja Erawan?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chandu.
Okay. So the next question is from Mukhtar Ahmad. There are two questions in here. The
I have
first-
a little bit internet an issue, but just give me 5 minutes of time. I will connect to hotspot, please.
Okay. We will give you 5 minutes for the preparation. So, okay. While waiting for Mr. Chandu, I have a very not so fun announcement, because one of our speaker in here in main session, Dr. Elna Kulyayeva, PhD from Russia. She is from Diplomatic Academy of Russian, MFA from Russia. She unfortunately she couldn't attend in the main session with us right now in this conference, but it will be lovely. But because probably we will meet her in the next conference, since she couldn't join us today because of very urgent meeting. Maybe if anyone have more questions for Dr. Chandu, you can type it in the box, in the chat box. Or maybe another question for Dr. Herman that the committee will take notes, and we will inform Dr. Herman to answer the questions. Also, everyone, while waiting for Mr. Chandu, we already sent the link. It's a participant attendance list. Please make sure you fill out these forms, because if you are not filling this form, we cannot give you the certificate of this international conference. I repeat again, we have a participant attendance list in the chat box. You can check on the chat box in here. There's a link in Google Forms.
Miss Joy, it's for presenter or for a participant?
It's for participant.
Okay, thank you. Oh, but for the presenter list?
Yeah, the presenter list link will be sent soon, but please, for everyone in here that is already in the main session, whether you're a presenter or participant, please do fill the form.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, yes, you're welcome. And maybe I will, while waiting, I will give an announcement, because after Dr. Chandu, Q&A session with Dr. Chandu ended, we will have a break. And after a break, we will have a parallel session. It will start from 12:30 until 15:30. Parallel session will be groups 1A to 1H, and from 14 to 15:30, we will have a parallel session 2, groups 2A to until 2H, and we will have a closing ceremony at 15:30 until 16 p.m. Waktu Indonesia bagian Barat. For closing remarks, please attend this closing ceremony. And also, I'm another announcement for parallel session. It will end at 15:30, so please don't go anywhere. Please still stand by on the breakout room in parallel session, because we will give you like an exit link, and you need to fill out the Google form. We have 2 attendance lists today, and you need to fill out 2 of them, because if you only yes.
When the presenter is listed in the second parallel session on 1400 hours until 1530, it means in the first parallel session they don't have any activities, isn't it?
Yes, but you can join for the other parallel session 1 because you
Yes, I'm back. You can ask your question now. Sorry for the
Okay, Mr.
inconvenience. Here is a heavy rains are going there.
Okay, Mr. Chandu, wait a second. I'm trying to explain about the parallel session, but please wait for a moment. So,
Sure.
okay, even though you will be present in parallel session 2, you can join for the parallel session 1 to observe and listening and get new knowledge, and also you can have a discussion with a lot of experts there in other breakout rooms.
Sure. But I can give you only 1 hour of time because I have one more conference at UK. I have to join it by next like
Please,
11:30.
Doctor, please continue.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Chandu, can you answer the question maybe in short because of time constraint?
Yes. Can you please ask me the question now?
Okay. The first question is, there is an opinion that a leader is someone who has spiritual enlightenment, not only has merely knowledge. Do you agree with it or not?
Yes, I definitely agree with that.
Okay.
Because without holistic, we cannot create any of the leaderships because they are the first leaders of all the things, all the humankinds everywhere. The leadership is the first thing which creates the society. So, in my knowledge sake, I was telling that the only purifying the leaderships will make everything in a streamline.
Uh, and second question is how to conduct a talent pool management to the preparation of future leaders in India. Are there any assessment center for the selection of their leadership?
It depends on their localities and nativity they come from, because in our India not only we have a different cultures, we have a different demographical reasons. So for example, if you take I was living in South India, so there we usually divided the India into 2 parts like South India and North India. If we compare the climatical conditions, the South India is very near to the equator as you see in the globe, so we are in a very hot regions. So when you take the upper part, that means North India, we have a Himalayas where is very minus degrees for going there. As per why I was stating this geographical and the landscapes are based on that, the requirements of people also have changed a lot. So based on that, the political leaderships also going to change, and also it also impacts with the previous government, the policies which they are following, and the support which the people are expecting now, and the promises which they made before elections. So this all come to the scenes. Apart from all these things, each and every leader, each and every CM, chief minister, and the president, everybody have their own style of leadership again. So along with all these ingredients, the position, the chairs has its own face. So that is how it is changing in Indian politics.
Okay, is it answering your question?
Yeah. I got it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And that's conclude our main session for today. Mr. Chandu concludes that while technology is transforming our world, it must always serve humanity. He reminds us that ethical governance, accountability, and international collaboration are the keys to ensuring that digital progress aligns with justice and human dignity. And Dr. Herman reminds us that taxation is not merely about revenue collection, but about justice through fair and proportional law harmonization. Indonesia moves towards a human, transparent, and trustworthy fiscal system. Thank you to all our speakers and participants for such engaging and enriching sessions. Before we move on to the parallel session, please take a moment to fill out the attendance list that has been shared in the Zoom chat. And a few important reminders for all presenters. In parallel session, each presenter has 10 minutes in total, 7 minutes for presentation and 3 minutes for Q&A. Please prepare your own timer and remember to mute your microphone when not speaking. Delegates are now invited to take a 30-minute intermission. We will start parallel session at 12:30. Please prepare. And the conference platform will remain active while our technical team prepares the virtual rooms. See you in the parallel session shortly.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Prof. Saya Chandu.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
Thank
Professor.
you, Jessica Sumit.
Thank you, Mister. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everyone. We have now reached the final part of our event, the closing ceremony of the 5th Multidisciplinary International Conference MIC 2025. To our parallel session contributors, thank you for sharing your knowledge, insights, and valuable time with us today. To formally close today's conference, we are honored to invite Ms. Kiki Kurniawati, SPD, to deliver the closing remarks. Ms. Kiki, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Ms. Joy. Thank you all for making the 5th Multidisciplinary International Conference a tremendous success. It has been an inspiring few days, and I am deeply grateful to our dedicated committees, co-hosts, and all contributors for their hard work. On behalf of the M50 Foundation, in collaboration with Universitas Borobudur, I extend heartfelt thanks to our remarkable speakers and participants, especially those who joined us from around the globe. This conference was vibrant and impactful because of each of you. As a foundation focused on development, research, and education, Meira Visi Persada is here to support you in any research, human development, or educational endeavors. Feel free to reach out if we can assist you in your journey. Congratulations to everyone, and we look forward to seeing you at our next conference. Back to Ms. Joy.
Thank you, Ms. Kiki, for the thoughtful and heartwarming closing remarks. And before we officially end, we would like to share several announcements. First, certificates of participation will be distributed starting from Monday, October 27, 2025. We kindly ask for your patience during this process that may take within 7 working days. And second, the committee is currently processing your articles for publication to ensure a smooth and timely publication process. We ask that you review your article carefully and notify us of any necessary corrections, particularly regarding names, email addresses, and institutional affiliation, no later than October 28, 2025. Please note that the publication process is expected to take approximately 90 to 120 days from the date of the conference. On behalf of Borobudur University and the MIC 2025 Organizing Committee, we convey our deepest gratitude and highest appreciation for your participation, engagement, and scholarly contributions. This marks the conclusion of the 5th Multidisciplinary International Conference MIC 2025. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you once again and see you at MIC 2026.
Thank you, Sir.
Waalaikumsalam
Thank you.
warahmatullahi. Thank you.
Thank you.
Terima kasih.
Thank you
Terima
very
kasih.
much. Thank you,
Goodbye.
all my friends.